Oh, yeah, it is Draft-A-Thon time, baby. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Today Draft-A-Thon presented by Snickers. Rookie mistake. Maybe you just need a Snickers. Welcome, and we are so excited for the next 2 hours. We have the best guests in the industry joining us today. We got Jake Ciely, Nando, Fino, Scott Fish, Ben Gretch. We got the Front Yard Fantasy guys. We got Robert Turbin. Of course, Dave and Jamie are going to be. But look who's here. Look who's here to start the show. A man who needs no introduction. Heath Cummings is here. What's up, Heath? How you doing?
Yeah, do not bury the lead. I am not the man who needs no introduction.
Is Matt Ryan? Wow, we are so pleased. What an amazing way to start the show. I don't know if we're gonna be able to start the show the way you started your career. What was it? 60? How many yards for that touchdown pass on your first throw?
It was 62, but no one's counting.
Welcome to our Draft-A-Thon. Thanks for kicking it off with us. How you doing, Matt Ryan?
I'm doing good, other than the fact that I feel like you crushed my confidence leading into that show. I was all ready, no introduction needed, and then boom, kind of hit me right after. So I'm good. Excited to be here.
We are excited to have you. We just found out that you're going to be playing a little fantasy football this year. You what's your level of confidence, readiness going into your fantasy draft?
It's very low, very, very low. I have never done it before, and so playing forever and then doing games last year, kind of trying to get my bearings settled in the broadcast world. I didn't get involved in it last season, but I got suckered into it. I'm going to be in a little league here with some friends in Atlanta, and as soon as I get off with you guys, I'm going to tune back in and just watch and try and take any info I can to kind of help the draft next week.
All right, Heath, give me like one tip for a fantasy football newcomer.
Well, first off, being the newcomer is a significant advantage. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a long history of people thinking they know what they're doing in this game and then someone coming in and winning that didn't think they did. So, yeah, I would say, especially for you, assuming this is a one quarterback league, this is going to sound a little bit strange, but we generally, because there's only 12 teams or 10 teams in a fantasy football league, there are enough good quarterbacks to go around. You don't have to prioritize quarterback as much in fantasy football as you do in real football.
There you go. That's a pretty good.
It goes against everything I believe in, man. It goes against everything I believe in.
Well, let's talk about quarterbacks here. And I know you've been visiting training camps, and you got your finger on the pulse of what's going on in the NFL. But obviously, you're pretty plugged in with the Atlanta Falcons. We're hoping for a big boost in their passing game production. What are you expecting from the Falcons passing game this year?
I expect to see improvement. I think from where they were at last year and kind of the inconsistency they had at the quarterback position, I think you had a guy like Kirk Cousins, you're going to see instant improvement. I think you're going to see guys like Drake London, Kyle Pitts, hopefully return to the form that everyone expected of them. I think in this league, you are dependent on the guy who's pulling the trigger and delivering the ball to you. And so I think for those guys, I think that's a big upgrade. I also think the X factor is Bijan Robinson. Watching him in person, not only last year, but this season as well, his athleticism and just how dynamic of a player he is, not only running the football, but catching the ball out of the backfield. I expect him to be a big part of what the Falcons do. I think it might take a little bit of time. I think expecting them to kind of be firing on all cylinders right away with the first year play caller in Zach Robinson. It might take a little bit of time to kind of, figure out who they are, how they're going to operate, play calling, what their strengths are. But by the time you get to midseason, I expect them to be rolling in a division that I think, they can control.
So Adam got the real football question. I get the superlative questions, I guess. So CJ Stroud, Josh Allen, obviously Allen's number one wide receiver. Now with the Texans, Stroud might have 3 number one wide receivers. I don't know who Josh Allen's number one wide receiver is right now. Who is more likely to win an MVP this season, Josh Allen or CJ Stroud?
I mean, that's a hard question.
Yeah, great one.
Yeah, a great question. If I were a gambling man, and I had to put money on one of these guys, I think Josh Allen. And I think it, number one, because of his track record of consistency, and putting up numbers and the ability to create these incredible explosive plays. I just think if he were to put them in position of a 1 or a 2 seed with the supporting cast, like you mentioned, that has kind of disappeared. And for him to kind of put them on his back and put them in that position, I think that's worthy of winning an NFL MVP. And so I think if I had to choose one of the two, I would choose Josh. With that in mind, I might be just putting like a 3-play parlay on it, a Patrick, Josh and CJ as well, and trying to get the payout either way.
So you mentioned supporting cast for Josh, and obviously that makes a big deal. Caleb Williams may be the best supporting cast any rookie quarterback has ever had, with Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, but we love the rushing upside for a guy like Jaden Daniels. I don't know how much you've seen of these rookies early on, but which one of them do you think is more likely to win Rookie of the Year this year?
Well, I've seen both of them in person. Was at training camp in Chicago and also at training camp in Washington. And both these guys are impressive, really impressive when you see them live. I would agree with you, though. I think the supporting cast around Caleb is stronger. And for that reason, I just think he's got a better opportunity to win more ball games and to be kind of in the mix. And when you're winning as a quarterback, right, it's funny how the accolades start to just pile up when you win football games. And so I think they've got a chance to win 10 games in Chicago. I really do. I think they've got a chance to make it to the playoffs, to be competitive in that really tough division because of the surrounding pieces and because of their defense too. I really think like their defense is going to play a role in them being successful. And I know that shouldn't go to help an individual award, but I think it does. I think that part really helps. I really think, though, you look 2 or 3 or 4 years down the line at which one of these guys is going to be there when the supporting pieces kind of trickle in Washington, and seeing what I saw in him in Jaden Daniels at training camp. It's going to be 2 guys that are going to be fun to watch for a long time.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be very fun for fantasy. Now, speaking of fantasies, you've been to a lot of training camps. Just wondering if maybe there were a few players that really stood out to you that you think are primed for big seasons.
I'd start with the 2 quarterbacks. I know that sounds biased, but really seeing these young guys in Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, and just I feel like there's a feeling you get when you see them live, right? You see their body language, you see how they're kind of commanding the huddle, you see how they're interacting with their teammates, you see how their teammates are looking at these guys too. Their presence when you see them on the field is impressive. But I would go with a guy out of Chicago that, another rookie. Rome Odunze was impressive in person. He's a little bit taller than what I had anticipated. He's kind of a little bit bigger than what I expected. And to see him, out there learning from guys like, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, I think he's got a chance to make a splash early on. I really do. Because of kind of the number of pieces that they have. And then, DeAndre Swift in the backfield too, to kind of take some of that stress off it. I think he's going to get a lot of one-on-one matchups. And from what I saw in training camp, I think he's a guy who can go win them.
So we've got one more here, and I know all current and former players love this question. So your quarterback Mount Rushmore, who is on it?
I hate this question.
I know.
but I'll play along. I think you have to put Tom Brady on there. I mean, that's like the of course he's on there. I think Joe Montana is on there too. Kind of, he was the winner before Tom Brady. He was the guy, so he'd be on there for me. I'm going to put Patrick Mahomes on there. I think seeing what he did last year, taking that team, and they used the running game extensively, and they played good defense. But when it came time to go win a football game, he knows how to do it. And I think he's one of the greatest of all time. And then my fourth, I mean, you could go in so many different directions, but it's partly the time I grew up and watching this guy play and him as a passer. It'd be Dan Marino. Like, he was a game changer. And I think playing maybe in a different era, he might have broken all kinds of statistical records. But playing in the era that he did, he's still in the mix with like the current stuff. And so Dan would be on there for me. And that's really just like he's a personal hero.
Wow, Heath, I can't believe you asked that question. I just horrible. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get roasted for this, but it's all good.
No, I put the questions in the rundown. I just assigned the mean one to Heath, but I appreciate that. We wanted to play a game with you before you left. an ultimate roster game. This is from his website, ultimateroster.com, which I had never seen before, but one of our producers loves it. So these guys must have played for the Atlanta Falcons. Stats will only count while on the Falcons roster. We just need the best Falcons ever, basically. And I think we can start with Matt Ryan. We put Matt Ryan in there. Good with that at quarterback?
I'm going to take myself there. I'll take myself.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. We'll get Matt Ryan. We'll find out how we did.
What's perfect is I'm in a Colts jersey here.
Good. All right. What do we think who's the best wide receiver?
Oh, come on.
It's
Do I
definitely
only get to choose one?
Yeah, yep. Just one.
You
got Roddy and
Julio Jones. We're talking numbers here, right?
Yeah, just numbers.
Okay, perfect. He's in an Eagles jersey. This is great. Together, nobody's in the jersey.
Oh, boy. Running back.
We're all time here, 1970 to 2023.
Yeah.
I'm going to go because we're straight statistics for while they played for the Falcons, or just total statistics in their career?
Only on the Falcons.
I'm going to go William Andrews.
Okay, I never would have gone with that, but okay, that's good. That's why we have the expert here. Tight end.
I mean, I'm going Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, we can do a flex. So this is a good fantasy tip for you. Flex being running back, wide receiver, or tight end.
I'm going Roddy White. This is my second guy in there.
Got to be Roddy White. All right, let's see how we did, Debo. A+. Was that the optimal one? What's the optimal roster?
I think that's A+ on the running back, which is the one that I had no idea on. So that was clutch there.
There we go. That's right. Got to go deep into the archives. You got to know the history of your organization.
All right, do we have one more here? Do we have the Julio Jones one? Or are we good? Let's see. I think we have one more. All right, so let's see the rules here. Must have been an NFL teammate of Julio Jones, and all career stats will count even while on other teams, and you can't pick Julio Jones. So it's anyone who played with Julio Jones and it's career stats.
Okay. All right. We'll see how I do.
All right.
Quarterback, I can take myself, yeah?
Yep.
You know what? I know the answer, and it's not you.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm pretty sure. Let me...
I know who it is.
Yeah, go ahead, Heath. Who do you?
Is it Tom Brady?
Tom Brady. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So Julio played for the Falcons.
I know he was with the Bucs. It's just not right to me, but
no, it's not.
All right, Tom Brady. My bad. Another one I got to give up to Tom.
Brady in a Bucs jersey too. We get that.
Okay.
Wide receiver.
Given the Bucs connection, I'm gonna say Mike Evans.
Okay.
I think that's a good answer.
Yeah. All right. What else we got? We need a running back. Should I tell you the other teams he was on, just in case anyone's forgetting? Because he was on.
I'll go Derrick Henry here, running
back. Good call.
Good. Nice work. I totally forgot about that year. Tight end and a flex here.
I'm gonna say, I can't remember if Gronk was on that team. I'm gonna say Tony Gonzalez.
Was Gronk on that team? I kind of feel like he was.
Tony G.
I don't know for sure.
No.
All right, Tony Gonzalez is a safer bet. And then we need a running back or a wide receiver here.
I'm going to go.
Or a tight end.
Yeah, to me, it's probably either Roddy White or AJ Brown. I'm going to go Roddy White.
Was Antonio Brown? Were they teammates with Antonio?
Oh,
Brown?
Wow. For like 2 weeks.
All right, we'll go Roddy White. Roddy White had a pretty good career. Let's see how we did. We got an A. Oh, Derrick Henry was not the answer.
Really?
Adrian Peterson was a teammate of Julio Jones.
Tennessee, Tampa Bay, or Philadelphia?
It must have been late season Tennessee. Didn't he come in and play for like a week?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I don't even remember that.
Steven Jackson in the flex.
It was Tennessee. Steven Jackson. Oh, Steven Jackson. That's a good one. Yeah.
Steven Jackson's a good one. Yes.
So you feel like you're ready for fantasy football now? You're all good? You're all set?
I feel like I did all right there. I mean, like, it could have gone a lot worse.
You did very good. If you weren't here, it would have gone a lot worse. I'll tell you that. Matt, thanks for you know what? I tell you what, So end it like this. I saw you give a motivational pump-up speech to the Falcons locker room. I want you to look at our audience, and I want you to pump them up and tell them that they should donate to St. Jude. Our URL is tinyurl.com/Draft-A-Thon 2024. There's a donate now button at the top, tinyurl.com/Draft-A-Thon 2024. We have raised over $30,000 today. We're up to 86K. It's incredible. Help us get to 100,000, Matt. Pump us up.
All right. So if anybody saw that speech, I won't use all of the language that I used just to help out. But if we're being honest here, football is important, but the work that St. Jude's does is really important, right? These are life-changing, life-saving places and research that they're doing. And so if anybody can find it, a spare couple of bucks in their pocket to go out there and donate and help what they're doing at the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, please donate. I'm going to join. I'm going to donate. I'm going to donate $1,000. I'm going to keep it rolling here. So we'll put another 1,000 on there. Figure out. I have no idea how I'm going to do that, but I'll look. I'm going to figure that out. I'm sure I can do it. And we'll take that number from whatever it was, 81,000. It's now 82,000. So let's get this to 100,000 and do some good work.
Thank you, Matt.
I was about to say I'm donating $100 now. It's so inadequate, but thank you, Matt. Really appreciate you being here. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of the Draft-A-Thon, boys.
Thank you very much. tinyurl.com/Draft-A-Thon 2024. Heath, I got to put my payment details in. Let's bring on our next guest. We'll get, sorry, Matt, we'll get you out of there. And there we go.
I do want to say, like, before the next guest, a fantastic comment while that segment was going on. Heath must really feel pressure sitting with two elite athletes. Someone didn't watch you play tennis yesterday. But yes, that was fantastic. How awesome was he?
That was terrific. That was really great. Okay, Jake Ciely, how much are you donating to St. Jude?
Wow. And also thank you for the baked in smack that you said there, because it would have been more disappointing without you, which just leads right into me. So thank you. I am the disappointment of the show today.
No, I'm so thrilled to have you on. And I would not have gotten the running back on the Falcons. No chance.
No, I was thinking Devonta Freeman or somebody like that. That never.
Yeah. I don't know how I didn't think of Steven Jackson. That should have been one.
That was a big one too.
Oh, was he? Wait, no, he wasn't on the Falcons. Sorry, am I crazy? Was he on the Falcons?
Yeah, he was.
He was on the Falcons. But it wasn't Falcons numbers.
Right. Oh, right. I'm mixing up the two of them. All right, what's up, Jake?
What's up? Been too long.
Yeah.
Do you notice I glossed over how much I'm giving to? I'm not giving Matt Ryan money to St. Jude. So why are you going to make me feel bad?
No, not at all. Let's make you feel bad. Look, can we bring up the? Just kidding. I haven't seen your team. Can we bring up the Draft-A-Thon?
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks for coming on, Jake.
I'm sure it's great. We bring up the Draft-A-Thon league and see. This was a 12-team league that the guys did last week with Heath, Dave, Jamie. I was not in it. Jake was in it. I think most of the guests we're having on today were in it, and we'll take a look at that in a moment here. In the meantime, you want to give us some sleepers, breakouts, or busts? By the way, we have Katie Mox coming on very shortly. She's going to talk about some player props she likes. We're going to look at her FFT Open team. Hope that's okay, Katie. And Jake, give me a sleeper, a breakout, or a bust, or all three, whatever you want.
I'll start with sleepers. Do you want just one at a time, or do you want me to double down on the sleepers? Because I was ready for two. You told me to have everything ready.
Two at a time.
Two at a time? All right, so I'm going with two rookies as the sleepers. I'm going with Brian Thomas with the Jaguars, who I've been on right out of the draft. I see Heath celebrating already. I think what the biggest thing here is a lot of people would have been more noticeable of Brian Thomas, if not for this draft class. Like most years, he would have been in the conversation to be the one or two off the board, but this was an insane draft class. And I think he steps into the Calvin Ridley role and does what Calvin Ridley did. Maybe even with more touchdown upside, because Calvin Ridley, as we know, left a lot of touchdowns in the end zone. And that's a top 30 wide receiver, potentially even top 25. I have a very slim margin between Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas, simply because of landing spots.
What is happening here?
I love Jake Ciely. Like all these things you're saying, Adam like basically calls me an idiot for saying. So just keep on going, please. It's fantastic content.
It is terrific content because we gang up on Adam, as you guys did for me when I came on. The other one, I wasn't initially, but it really comes down to the situation change. So Adonai Mitchell, of going to the Colts. Now, again, this isn't the highest passing offense in the league, and it won't be. But I was big on Josh Downs for the fit with Anthony Richardson when they drafted Anthony Richardson, because if you watch Richardson in college, that's the kind of guy he throws to the most. Mitchell being drafted behind Pittman and Downs, I was like, all right, we have to wait for Mitchell. Maybe he can take over eventually. But the Downs injury opened the door, and Downs is still on a knee scooter, which I know from the wife having ankle surgery. Knee scooter means you're still weeks away. But A.D. Mitchell, what I like about him is so far with the preseason is he's not just playing that slot role, which really helps, is that when it goes down to 2 wide receivers, he kicks outside and stays on the field, that's what I thought Downs might do. So I think Mitchell's being overlooked. Again, the passing offense is going to limit his upside, but he's going basically free, where I think he could fall into a wide receiver 4 conversation this year.
All right, A.D. Mitchell and Brian Thomas, good stuff. A couple of breakouts, Jake?
Joshua Palmer for one. This is somebody who put up numbers that people seem to have forgotten, filling in for Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, and now is set to be the one. They have treated him as the one this entire preseason. And if you look at some of his numbers in line with Keenan Allen while he's been there, and for people that are concerned about drops and everything like that, had a better catch rate at times, even just last year. So I think Joshua Palmer falling into the one spot there when we're trying to figure out Ladd McConkey and the rest. The obvious answer just is Josh Palmer, although we know the offense, and partly because of Herbert's injury, might limit his upside a little bit, but it's not like you're paying a cost to get Joshua Palmer. And the other one just had, hey, I lost a favorite, and now I have a new one. Jahan Dotson is gone. I lost my boy. He's now buried on the Eagles behind 2 great wide receivers. But a lot of people are talking Luke McCaffrey and all the and Zacchaeus. Diami Brown. We're talking about big playability. This could be a bust. And I don't care if he is, because where he's going is free. And I'm looking for like Gabe Davis type numbers, which means I might get a 0 one week. But Jaden Daniels, great deep ball thrower, touchdown upside. Diami Brown has been treated as the starter even before Dotson was traded. So I think he's a super deep breakout.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, how would you rank those 4 receivers, your 2 sleepers and 2 breakouts?
Thomas, Palmer, Mitchell, Brown.
Same.
Thomas, Palmer, Mitchell, Brown. Throw Keon Coleman in there.
Thomas, Palmer, Keon Coleman, Mitchell, Brown.
Same.
Wow. I like Coleman better than Thomas. I think he's got the chance. He's got a much better chance to lead his team in targets. I think Thomas is 3rd at best.
I think Coleman is more of falling into a situation of volume spread out across all 3 of them. Shakir, Curtis Samuel, and 4th, and including Kincaid. I think this is just going to be more of a culmination for Josh Allen than it will be a specific one target. Now, if Coleman led the team in touchdowns, that wouldn't shock me, but I would actually take the under on leading the team in receptions or yards.
I'm not entirely sure the Bills are going to have anybody with 900 yards receiving this year.
I'm with you. Like the Jaguars from a few years ago. That's kind of what they feel like.
I'll take the under on Brian Thomas, 900 yards. But speaking of player props, Katie Mox is here.
What up, guys? How are you?
Did I bring you on too early? Did I surprise you there? I'm sorry.
No, it was fine. Well, I was just looking at Heath's background, and as a 49ers fan, it feels like a punch in the gut with the 3-time Super Bowl. And then you also have the CBS Super Bowl right behind. So nice to see y'all.
Yeah, it's really a little bit disappointing because I got this really nice banner from a listener like 8 months ago, and it's already out of date. Like they already want another one. It's quite a pain.
Tough to be a Chiefs fan, right? Gosh, man, banners don't stand.
We're not treating our guests very well, We're trolling them right off the bat. But listen, actually, I did not know this. This is an exciting development. Breaking news: Katie Mox is on the clock in the Open. Would you like to make a pick here? We could,
Wait, I'm on the clock right now for the what?
For the FFT Open for your league, for your FFT Open league.
Oh, for my FFT Open League. Oh my gosh, no. I gotta look at everything. I gotta figure that out. I don't know where I even stand on that. But thank you, Adam, for helping me with that league. We've had a little bit of drama in the Mox League.
We did. We had someone hold up the draft for an entire week because he auto picked and never responded. But everything's back on track.
Wait, Nando's in the draft?
Right. Oh, God, I'm going to rip Nando for his auto pick in that Draft-A-Thon league. Before we get to some of the player props that you wanted to talk about, I'm starving. I wish I could be in the Fort Lauderdale studio to grab a Snickers because we are.
Hungry? Why wait?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to use
I'm excited about it. I got to tell you, Snickers are actually some of my favorite snacks to have. My mom, speaking of trolling, my mom trolled me once. I used to get the little tiny bite-sized ones when I was in college. We were sitting watching movies one night, and she looked at me. She goes, Katie, do you realize that you have already unwrapped one before you finish chewing the other one? And I looked at myself, and I was like, oh, maybe I should slow down. So cheers, Snickers. Let's go.
Or just get a bigger one, I think that's probably just the solution there. So let's get into some player props that you liked, that you gave us 4 that you wanted to highlight on today's show. First one, what do we got? We got Dak Prescott.
I got Dak Prescott. I like him over on his passing yards. It's 4,075 and a half. Obviously a huge dip from last year, probably his second best year in the passing game, just over 4,500 yards. Now there's tons of question marks about Dallas. I'm not going to dispute that. CeeDee Lamb being maybe his only reliable receiver that he has outside of his tight end, but he is on his 5th year, and historically quarterbacks going into their final year, not 5th year, their final year of their contract have really, really good seasons. This is a pass heavy attack. In fact, Dak dropped back 62% of the time last season. They lost some key players on their O-line, so I'm not sure how well they're going to be able to run the ball this season, even though I am pretty high on Rico Dowdle. And also I did see that they got cooked today. So I think that this is a low line for Dak, and I'm going to buy the dip.
What do you guys think? It's 4,075 and a half passing yards for Dak Prescott. Over or under?
Way over.
Yeah, I think I've got him.
So Jake.
I thought conservatively projected at 4,400 yards passing. So
the last 3 full seasons he's played, 4,400 would be his low mark.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's interesting. It's interesting, Katie, because like these player props, injury is probably what's going to get in the way of a lot of the overs, right?
Right.
Yeah. So if he stays healthy, he's going to crush that. But he may be able to miss 2 games and beat that.
Right.
So.
Well, CeeDee Lamb has to stay healthy as well, but I do think that this is a good buy low spot for him.
All right, Jaden Daniels, his passing prop.
Yeah, I'm taking him over as well. This is at 3,025 and a half. When you look at rookies who've been taken in the first round that play at least 14 games, they almost always go over this number. In fact, the only player who hasn't in the last 10 years was Bryce Young. So it's possible that Jaden Daniels has a catastrophe every year or he gets injured, but it's not likely. They have a decent O-line over there. He's got serviceable to better than average wide receivers around him. And I think that this number is so low too, because when you think of Daniels, you think this is the guy that's going to scramble a lot. He's a really good runner. And so they factored that into this line, but I think almost a little bit too much. You got Cliff Kingsbury over there, who was great with Kyler Murray. That's where he won his Offensive Rookie of the Year. They've got a pretty good O-line and some decent weapons around him. So I like this over as well.
Heath, Jake, over 3,025 and a half passing yards for Jaden Daniels.
Could not agree more. I actually have him push in my projections. I have him pushing 3,700 because the deep ball, the throwing ability, and then everybody loves Terry McLaurin, and yet we don't want to buy in on Jaden Daniels, the passer. Well, why do we like Terry McLaurin? It's because of Jaden Daniels, the passer. He is Justin Fields, but he's Justin Fields who knows how to throw the ball deep and well.
Yeah, I've got him over 3,800 yards. I actually did the check because I do think they should be factoring in injury risk here, and he is more likely than Dak probably to miss a couple of games. But I reran the math. At 14 games, I have him 3,100 yards. So he can miss 3 games and still go over this number.
All right. So how about for Jake and Heath, and Katie, if you want to chime in too. We got a Dak Prescott player prop, Jaden Daniels. Who are you drafting first?
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
Definitely Jaden Daniels in 4-point per pass touchdown leagues, but in 6, I will still take Dak.
Yeah, I had that decision today in Superflex, and I took Dak because it's Superflex. I want a little bit more safety, and I think Dak's a little underrated, honestly. It's like
he is, right?
People aren't excited about him. He's averaged over 24 points per game in like 4 of the last 5 seasons or something. That's really damn good. All right, I like this one. This is a plus 800 on Christian McCaffrey. What do we got here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Christian McCaffrey is everyone's number one guy. He certainly is with the 49ers. So I like him to have the most rushing touchdowns in the league. Like you said, 8-1, coming off a completely dominant season, won the Offensive Player of the Year. He led the league in both rushing yards and scrimmage yards. He was tied with Raheem Mostert for the most touchdowns at 21. there is a thought, and I actually agree with it, that maybe there's a little bit of regression with CMC in terms of yards, but he's still the guy at the goal line. He's still the one that you want to get the ball in the hand when it really matters. I don't see a big dip there, so I like him to, I think his line is at 10.5 too, so I like that over, and I like him to have the most.
Most rushing touchdowns for McCaffrey. Heath, if it's not McCaffrey, who leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns?
Well, I was just looking. I've got McCaffrey at 11.2 in terms of rushing touchdowns. There's 2 players that I have projected for more rushing touchdowns than him this year.
I only have one. I know one of them, Heath.
Who is
it's Derrick Henry.
No, it's not actually.
What?
Heath, you haven't
What?
the Heath this season.
Jonathan Taylor and Jalen Hurts.
Oh, Jalen Hurts.
No, I still have McCaffrey for 14. I don't mind it. The only one I'm concerned about is, by the way, Derrick Henry's line is also 10.5, which is insane because even in 8 games a few years ago, he hit 10 on the ground and has had well past that every other year. Derrick Henry would be the only one I'm concerned about with Christian McCaffrey.
All right. That sounds like 8+800 is pretty good odds then.
Yes.
And the last
Especially on a Christian McCaffrey prop, right? Because all of his are quite juiced.
Yes.
Lad McConkey over 4. You like him over 4.5 touchdowns, Lad McConkey.
Yeah, this one's obviously a little bit risky, but you got to take some risks here. You can find this at plus money at plus 110. That's where I really like the value here. I know that some people are worried about Lad right now, considering the injury to Justin Herbert. It seems to be that it's trending in the direction that he will start week 1. And so not only did the Chargers move up to get Lad, but they're paying him more guaranteed money than anyone ever at that position, 34th pick in the draft. Obviously, the receiver room and the targets are a little bit shallow there in Los Angeles. So I think that he could emerge and be Justin Herbert's number 1 target or his safety blanket. We've heard a lot of good things out of camp. Herbert absolutely loves him. And while he's not a guy that gets a ton of touchdowns, I believe he had 14 touchdowns over 3 seasons with Georgia. So it's about this number. And again, at the plus money, I like it.
What do you guys think? 4.5? Actually, I'll tell you this. I used to take McConkey like 3 rounds ahead of Josh Palmer. Now I see they're very close in most people's like our guys' rankings. If you're on the clock and you're looking at Palmer and McConkey, Jake, who do you take?
Palmer by a hair. I'll happily take both. I actually I smashed players together for McConkey. I called him Deontay Lockett because he's a mix of Deontay Johnson and Tyler Lockett. I actually have him projected for 5.4 touchdowns.
Hey.
So I like the over as well, but I do have Palmer with 6.
Okay.
I love that. I actually have McConkey at exactly 5.4 as well. Jake and I just like exact. Now I will say, and also see who can guess it. I have Lad McConkey tied with one other rookie wide receiver at 5.4 receiving touchdowns.
Brian Thomas.
No.
Malik Neighbors.
Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, there you go.
Now that's like 40% of the Giants receiving touchdowns. It's only like 20% for McConkey.
Hit the under on Neighbors.
Are you fading Neighbors, Jake?
Oh, 100% where he's going. There's not even a question about it.
I don't even know where he's going. I mean, I feel like he's a 3-4 turn-ish pick.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane.
I don't think it's insane. I think
if we're talking 2025 and we're finally done with Daniel Jones, then we'll talk. But now Daniel Jones couldn't even throw a touchdown per game 2 years ago. There's no way I'm in on Malik Neighbors that high.
Now there's one thing that would change it. I'm like, Jake is my favorite fantasy analyst in the world. There's one thing that could still change it. Like there's some talk that the reason the Browns kept 4 quarterbacks is they're trying to see if they can ship Jameis Winston somewhere.
Oh, Jameis Winston?
You put Jameis in New York.
Sign up.
Move Neighbors up 3 rounds.
Jameis Winston, I don't think he's very good anymore.
You don't have to be very good to be an enormous upgrade over Daniel Jones as a passer.
Yes. I get that, but he's I don't know. Well, all right. So he did go at the 3-4 turn, Malik Neighbors in Katie's division. Katie, you took Joe Mixon 35th, and then Neighbors went 36th. So
good choice there, Katie.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty high on Joe Mixon this season. I think the change from Cincinnati is going to be good for him.
What do you think? Can we break down your team?
Sure. Yes, please. Please break down my team.
All right. She has the 11th pick, 12-team league. It's a 2-receiver league. And they're in the 10th round, so her starting lineup's filled out. It's Mahomes, Mixon, and Zamir White. It's half PPR, by the way. Wait, is it half PPR or full PPR?
I don't remember.
Full.
Yeah, I think it's full.
Full PPR. Okay.
Yeah.
Mahomes, Mixon, and Zamir White, AJ Brown and Tank Dell, Trey McBride at tight end, and then Zach Moss at flex. with so far Rico Dowdle and Xavier Worthy on the bench. What do we think? I like the Mahomes McBride. I mean, that's pretty damn good.
So you've got my number one quarterback and my number one tight end. AJ Brown, a fantastic number one wide receiver. I think the running backs are good.
Yeah.
I'm not a Zach Moss guy, but there's a decent chance that it doesn't matter because you've got Xavier Worthy and you just you got that lottery ticket at flex every week. That's probably what I would do.
My concern is it being full point PPR. It's not a bad team at all, but the Tank Dell plus Zamir White, I mean, you could be looking at low reception numbers for both of them, which just only because it's full point PPR. I'm legit concerned that Laube takes away enough from Zamir White in the passing game that he's going to be basically like Joe Mixon, but on a worse team. So it's not terrible. It's just the low reception numbers have a little bit of concern. But I mean, as you mentioned, you have Patrick Mahomes and Trey McBride. So you have two top tier options at tight end and quarterback. So that's pretty good.
So wait, Adam. So then, who do I have to pick from? Let's get their advice on who my next pick should be.
Well, you're not going to take a quarterback or a tight end. So Heath's rankings, we've got at wide receiver, and since you have, you could take a running back. You got Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, Josh Palmer, Jordan Addison. Those are the top 4 wide receivers. Running back's not great. It's Zeke, Eckler, Dobbins, Charbonnet, Chandler. It's like handcuffs. It definitely feels like a wide receiver pick.
You can take Palmer and hope Eckler comes back. Eckler continues, even in full point PPR, in the one that we did, and he's continued to fall for some reason.
Yeah, so what do you think? You want to take a wide receiver, Keenan Allen, McConkey, Palmer, Jordan Addison?
We were just talking about Palmer and McConkey, but you think Palmer a little bit stronger.
Heath
You
has
said by hair. Yeah.
Like Keenan Allen, that's like, are we just burying Keith Allen?
I was going to say, Keenan Allen's at the top of my list, right?
Yes.
I missed him the first time. I missed that the first time Adam said it. So yeah.
All right, let's go Keenan Allen. Let's go the Heath.
There we go.
The Heath ranking here. Keenan Allen.
He was like the
Lock it in.
number 3 receiver per game or something like that last year, and you just got him 110th overall. All right, Katie, way to go.
All right, well, we make up for and running backs. Hopefully our receivers take care of us.
Do we have the Draft-A-Thon spreadsheet? Can we take a look at the Draft-A-Thon league? And then we can talk about Jake's team. But in the meantime...
I can just read you Jake's team.
I want to see the draft board. Here it comes. Give me your top 3 cereals, Jake.
Oh, this is easy. Cinnamon Toast Crunch Churros, number 1, because it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch without getting soggy. So it's the best thing ever. That's why. So the Honey O's, which are Quaker, they've changed the name a couple times. Oh, look, see? The stuff in the middle. And then there's one that's defunct. It was Captain Crunch Sprinkled Donut, which was amazing. But now Captain Crunch came out with cinnamon. So it is now inside the top 3. Can you tell I like cinnamon? Because all 3 cereals have cinnamon.
Also, I was going to say, you look in decent shape for a guy that eats that much sugar in their cereal.
So people say that a lot. That's what you offset it with a home gym upstairs. That's how it works out.
Okay.
Oh, I got to get one of those. Katie, top 3 cereals?
Yeah, mine are boring and a little bit healthier. Like I will have a donut, but when it comes to cereal, I don't like a lot of sugar. So I like Honey Bunches of Oats, I like Cheerios, and I like Wheaties. I know, super boring. Like literally the opposite of Jake.
The first one has some sugar in it. You get the Honey Bunch.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Way to be an adult. I appreciate it.
If you're eating cereal, you're not an adult. That's all it comes down to. Have fun with it.
Yeah.
I think, Adam, you buried the lead of what's the most absurd thing about my cereal is that nobody agrees with me that the right way to do it is milk first.
Oh, that's like psychopaths put milk in their cereal.
Whoa.
See?
How do you know how much milk to put in there? Because I obviously just pour it until it gets right on top. I don't like excess milk.
Because it doesn't matter how much. So you do the milk and then you pour the cereal in as you go, which controls it from getting soggy. Most people... As you go. That's why I have the cereal box sitting next to me. Pour it in. Doesn't get soggy. I fill it back up until I'm done eating the cereal. And I actually do really like the milk afterwards.
This is a person that does multiple rounds of cereal too. We're not just stopping at one bowl. That's the lead.
So you drink the milk after the cereal flavored milk.
Adam, go to The Athletic. I have the ranking of the top 70 cereals of all time, and one of the categories is milk factor, how good the milk is afterwards.
What percentage of milk are you putting in there?
1%.
1%.
A little bit healthier, but not skim water.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You're
Of
not
all,
just going to
of
go
all
for the
these
2%?
things that might disturb people, the 1% milk is really what got me.
Why? Because it's healthier than 2, but it's not the water of
The
skim.
fact that you even have health involved in this conversation based on your cereals is amazing.
And I'm disputing it. I think like whole milk. That's
Oh
what
my
you
God.
Whole
Just eat
milk.
ice cream.
Give me
Yeah,
some
seriously,
protein.
whole milk. Just put cream in there. Well, Jake, we loved your team. Way to go.
Thanks.
Let's see. There we go. They're team 4. All right. So what was this? 3 receiver PPR?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Jamie was the commissioner, so it was 3 receiver PPR. Heath, how did he do? Lamb, Olave, Achane, Mixon, Rice, Kirk, Ferguson, blah, blah, blah. And who's your quarterback?
Trevor Lawrence.
I don't even
Trevor
see
Lawrence.
it at the bottom there.
Yep.
Why did you wait that long on quarterback?
Because that's how the draft kept falling. And Trevor Lawrence, we can complain about his career to date and give him all the excuses we want. But even at worst case, he's QB 16. And now we're all hoping that he's finally turning the corner this year. I would have taken a quarterback, but where I fell, I just kept getting sniped by the values. So I was like, I'll just wait.
Okay.
Dan Schneider.
That's so true. It's a great call. It's a great call, Dan Schneider. Yeah, this is a pretty good team. So we'll let you go on Achane. Katie and Jake, why don't you give us your thought? Oh, and Heath. Heath, you're going too. On Devon Achane.
Well, Devon Achane I had last year in our league that I won, by the way. What was that? The which league was it? Why am I blanking on the auction league? Yes, the auction league. And he was money for me last year. I think my biggest concern with him is staying healthy this year. But man, when he's on, he's really on.
Jake, you took him in the 3rd round. So is that like a comfortable pick for you, Achane?
Yeah, I feel like Achane's now fallen to where he's comfortable. I had him as a fringe RB1 this entire time, and I wasn't getting in on the 7th, 8th, even 6th running back off the board. But as a fringe RB1, absolutely, because even if I only get last year's split workload and that touchdown insanity doesn't happen again, the success from the per touch basis should still be there. So that's the split. And then, of course, if Mostert were to get hurt, I do think Jalen Wright will be in play. But there's ceiling from there. I feel like if you buy him at 5, 6, 7, you're buying that ceiling. Whereas the 11th, 12th running back, now I'm getting some potential return. So I think that's actually my first share of Achane.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a couple of days left to get my first share of Achane, so I don't want to be without him, like in all of my leagues this year. But I do, like, I'm not quite to the point where I can just say like his floor doesn't matter. I think there's a significant risk that he has 10 touches a game and averages 5 yards per carry instead of 8. But there's also number 1 overall upside.
We didn't get your cereal though, Heath. I need to know.
Yes. Eggs and bacon and sausage.
A mint chocolate chip after he melts it for
now, do you put the milk in first before the eggs and the bacon and the sausage?
I'll have some yogurt with granola in it. Probably be the
I love that. A little fruit. Yeah.
A little.
Is this while you grab the newspaper and yell at kids to get off your lawn, or after?
Shaking it with his hand.
Oh, wait, no, I got them 3 Wishes cereal. It's really good and healthy.
Jake,
I've never had that one.
You're a big Simpsons fan, right?
Ish.
Oh, ish. Okay. I was gonna wait, but Nando got me this for my birthday. It just came today. My birthday was 2 months ago.
Oh, that's actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's Bart Starr waving goodbye to the Lambeau fans. It's an original cell drawing from the Simpsons.
I was just gonna say that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, very
happy belated.
I was pretty blown away by it. Thank you very much.
Nando's the best.
Yeah, I mean, you should see the other 2 things he got me, but
was one of them related to poop in any way?
No, a different part of the but Katie, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Oh, wow. This has been great. Good to see you guys. Have fun for the rest of the Draft-A-Thon.
Right,
oh, there's a puppy.
Oh, it's Barkley, yeah.
Yeah, if you love puppies, donate to St. Jude. tinyurl.com/Draft-A-Thon 2024. Oh, who's that?
That's Barkley.
Barkley? Okay, same guy. Same dog. Same dog.
Same girl. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, girl. Oh. I'm not going to play the barking sounds anymore. People hate the barking sounds, so I'm not going to do it. But listen, tinyurl.com/Draft-A-Thon 2024. That's where you need to go. We can bring Dave in, by the way. I think he's waiting. We are up to $87,085. I see Matt Ryan there with $1,000 donation. Jake, it is totally your call. You can stay as long as you want. We're waiting for Robert Turbin to come, so you can hop.
I'll stay a few more minutes. You told me till Matt, like 4:50 anyway. I was prepared for the full hour.
Jake, you stay. I'll leave.
There you go.
No,
Dave.
Keith, it's always a pleasure to share the interwebs with you.
I have you figured out who your sleeper of the year is?
I did.
Oh, how much do people have to donate to hear it today?
Oh, 0. But it would be great if they donated more sooner. I'll say it sooner.
All right, we'll see you guys.
There you go.
I want to know.
Jake, how's Nicole?
she is doing much better. Thank you. Officially off the medicated pain reliever. So we have turned the corner and everything's healing as needed. Thank you so
All right.
much, Dave.
Something's coming your way today.
Thank
Adam,
you.
absolutely nothing is coming your way from me today.
Well,
You get nothing and like it.
I'll get nothing and like it. Okay, I could go for. I'm gonna be starving by the end of this, and if it goes well, I'm gonna go out for pizza. I'm gonna treat myself.
No, you want one of these.
Oh, I do want one of those.
You
Yes,
want one of these.
very very good call. We are toward the end of hour number 1 of 2 on our Draft-A-Thon presented by
You're making me
Snickers.
hungry.
Rookie mistake. Maybe you just need a Snickers.
Like
Yeah.
if you draft a kicker in round 7 or round ever.
Ever.
Like any round.
Oh, I have a question for Jake. He's
Pretty
very
well
good
easy.
kicker. He's band kicker. But yeah, what is that? What do you got? Band kicker.
That's the band kickers T-shirt back there on the Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Because I am banned return yards. I am extremely vehemently against return yards counting. How do you feel about that?
I actually said that on the podcast where I could see people bringing it back because of the change in the NFL, where I don't hate it. I will agree with you on one thing. Like, if people want to play with it, go ahead. I say play the way you want to play. Like, if you're insane enough to play with 3 kickers, go right ahead. I think you're stupid, but play how you want to play. Fantasy's supposed to be fun. If that's your definition of fun, I question who you are, but go do it. If you want return yards, go do it. But I'll agree with you, Adam, on one thing. I am not projecting return yards. I am not going to do the work to project return yards every single week.
I mean, watching it in the preseason, I actually like the play. I'm happy that they've made the rule change because it is exciting. But if you think like it's cheap for a player to catch a pass behind the line of scrimmage and get a point in PPR for the catch, I mean, how about giving people points for catching the ball and they're not allowed to have any defenders basically within 30 yards? It is the easiest.
So put a threshold.
Fine. Do that if you want. I'd be okay with that. But, I mean, it is like so easy to just gain yards. I'm going to grill Scott Fish on this because he put return yards in the Scott Fish Bowl.
Well, Scott Fish, you have to have a freaking abacus to figure out his scoring system every year. So, like, I have no problem with that.
Which is by design, by the way. He wants it to be a little bit different and a little bit crazy and make you think about it a little bit.
I
That
know, but
comes
as soon
with
as he
territory
went
with
nuts
any
with
of
the
those things.
when he went nuts with the kickers is when I started giving away my spot as a giveaway every single year.
Oh, he's watching right now, Jake. Don't offend Scott Fish.
I'm not offending
I
him.
don't
I'm just that's why I
defending
turned it into a giveaway. Anything. The only thing I hate about the league we're in together is that I can't leave the kicker spot empty as protest. Like, you have to actually roster. I would just leave it empty if I could.
Oh, at the kicker spot.
I've won an industry league leaving I'm not even lying. I've won an industry league leaving the kicker spot empty the entire year.
Yeah. And that just goes to show you how relevant kickers are.
And how bad
Exactly.
the industry people are. I mean, really.
Taking shots.
Wait a minute. Was I in this league?
No, you were not.
Let's see Dave's team. Let's see Dave's team from the draft on here.
I liked Dave's
you
team.
draft back to back. Dave,
Yeah.
I didn't know you to be I didn't know how you felt about Drake London. I feel like I never see you take Drake London.
Yeah, I'm okay with him late in 3 receiver leagues, especially if it's PPR. And so that's what I did. And I knew that I'd be able to get my guy Jacobs in round 3. This is before Jacobs suddenly became like the hottest commodity in our fantasy drafts. Now both Heath and Jamie are like, round 2 for Jacobs. I'm like, I almost cursed. But it would have been a bad word because I like getting Jacobs in early round 3. Now I got to get ahead of those guys to get Jacobs in round 2. Hopefully, everybody watching can just get Jacobs in round 3 and go ahead and dominate with him. But I knew that I wanted him, and I knew I could get a running back, either him or someone like Cook or Rashad White, maybe even Ken Walker in round 3. I got Jacobs.
And for Adam, for earlier, when you asked me why I didn't take a quarterback, that's because Dave actually sniped me 3 times, twice in a row in the 3rd and the 5th round, once with Jacobs and once with Lamar Jackson. I was ready to go with both of them before I picked, and he got me both times with those.
Are you complaining about Achane and Rashee Rice?
No, I'm not complaining at all. But he asked, why did I wait so long on quarterback and get Trevor Lawrence all the way at the end? And I said, that's how the value kept falling. Jamie actually got me with Kyler Murray. I was ready to take him instead of Jake Ferguson, who also not complaining about. It's just that's why I ended up waiting on quarterback. And I'm with you. I love Jacobs. I've had Jacobs actually in front of Kyron Williams even before this whole punt return craziness started.
Clear something up for everybody watching, Jake. It's not about just waiting until your last pick to get a quarterback. It's about getting really good value for your quarterback this year when you draft him.
Exactly. And if Lamar, where you took him, I love in round 5, and I was ready to do the same. When it came back, if Anthony Richardson was still there in round 6, I would have done it. But at that point, I said, never mind. And then took Ferguson, and then Kyler Murray, Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, they all went before I came back around. So now at that point, you've now blown up my top 10. And the difference between QB 10 and QB 18 for me is almost non-existent. So why not get Trevor Lawrence with Trevor Lawrence, Jared Goff, and all the rest? I was just going to take whoever lasted the longest, and it just happened to be Trevor Lawrence.
And your depth benefits from it because you've got really good receiver depth. I mean, it looks like DeAndre Hopkins is your number 5 receiver.
Right, but I'm sorry.
Number 6.
All right, but listen, I'll just play. I'm going to bring our next guest. Ben Gretch is here. What's up, Ben Gretch?
Oh, what's up, Ben?
There you go.
I'm just going to say, I just think you waited too long. I mean, you still could have built a really good roster with really good depth because I don't think you needed to go that deep into the player pool. You know,
he's not that deep for me. Why do you hate Trevor Lawrence?
I don't hate Trevor Lawrence, but I mean, I don't like Doug Peterson. So where is he ranked for you?
Trevor Lawrence is ranked 14th or 15th at quarterback for me, which again, maybe you have him 17th, somebody has him 13th. But for me, there's relatively zero difference. There you go, Ben. There's relatively zero difference for me from Caleb Williams, Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence, Tua, Kirk Cousins. They're all in the same pool for me.
All right. So let's talk about something more important. And by the way, to donate, please click the link in the episode description. We're getting really close to $100,000. That's our goal. So help us make that a reality here. We're trying to donate money to St. Jude or get money for St. Jude. Is really an amazing cause, and you're all amazing for contributing. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I asked for your top 3 cereals earlier. I want to do a top 3 that I don't think I've ever done before. Top 3 bands or artists that you want to listen to on a road trip.
So Blink 182. I'm going to go for stuff that I can jam along or sing along with the entire time.
You like the whiny stuff. Okay. Yeah.
No, because it's pretty much it's 3 different genres, which also might come out when I finish this list, might be the whitest list ever. But it is Blink 182, Linkin Park, and Eminem would be on my full rotation the entire trip. And I actually am a big fan of Eminem's new album coming back around, in my opinion.
Okay, that's fine. I don't think that's bad at all. I mean, Blink 182 really is like they don't belong on a road trip mix, but that's fine.
You can sing along with so many of their songs. What are you going to do on a road trip? Stare out the windshield?
Like the number, I feel like the number 1 road trip band for me is Tom Petty. Yeah, it's
that's pretty good,
right? Like it's such feel good music, like these great hooks.
I was thinking Hall & Oates, like for a similar reason. I'll get down with Hall & Oates. Dave's giving me a look.
I gave you side eye on that one. That was surprising.
I might get canceled off this show. I'm not a huge Tom Petty fan. Goodbye, everybody.
This is a great one. Sublime is a really good call.
I'm about to double stamped because I think Sublime's overrated. Jeez,
man. Why don't you just with your Trevor Lawrence and your materials, Sublime, like the Sublime self-titled album is one of the start to finish albums for me. It's
really good, but they're not a top 10 band all time, that's how they get treated, and that's my issue.
Oh, they're not a top 10 band all time, but they're a top 10 top 10 road trip band, I'd say.
I could see that. I could listen to like some Bob Marley on a road trip too.
Sure. This is a funny team name. Sublime with Rome Adunze. That's pretty funny. Sublime with Rome is like the updated Sublime. Dave, any bands you want to throw out there?
So the first one that came into my head was Stone Temple Pilots, but it's really more because of
almost
Interstate
said
Love
them.
Song. But and because I've gone on road trips where I've just like listened to their full albums one after the other. But I was just thinking, all right, when's the last road trip I went on? And it was last month when I did the annual trip from, Pittsburgh to Canton to Indianapolis. And I think I listened to NFL radio the entire time. Not a single bit of music the entire trip. And that's 6 hours of driving. So I don't know if I'm the best person to rank actual bands. Stone Temple Pilots came into play. I think Tom Petty is a great call. And you know whose music I've rediscovered and liked lately? And everybody's going to be surprised at this one, but Cypress Hill has been.
There you go.
Like one Cypress Hill song.
Yeah, well, you should get to know more. They're fun, but dark.
Yeah.
Or light, depending on how we're going to use the word
what I
light.
want on my road trip. Ben Gretch, how you doing, man? It's been a while.
I'm doing
Yeah,
good.
did you want me,
man.
I don't take it personally for Ben, but do you want me to drop out? I know 4 is a lot to manage now that Ben's on.
No, dude.
You got to
Barkley.
walk the dog?
I don't care. Honestly, it's up to you. I love having you on. You're one of our favorite
Well,
guests.
thank you. Yeah,
So,
I'll hang out until you kick me off. 2 minutes.
There will be an abrupt moment where I'm like, okay, get the hell out of here. I wanted to know, Ben, what are some of your boldest rankings this year?
Yeah, you sent this over. I grabbed one running back, one receiver, one tight end. I'll start with the running back. I got Javonte Williams, RB16 right now.
Okay. So is that ahead of Kamara or Mixon?
Yeah, it's in my rankings. It's well ahead of Kamara. it's definitely ahead of. It's not ahead of Mixon, but it's up there. Maybe that's not quite as bold, but very excited about the pass catching role. They were tops in the NFL in running back targets last year, 153, even with Russ, who's not been a guy who's thrown to the running back a lot. If you go to Peyton's 15 years, or I guess 14 and 1 where he was suspended with Breeze in New Orleans, every single year, New Orleans ranked in the 84th percentile or higher in running back targets for that 15-year span of all of the, I think it's 480, team seasons in that span. They were in the 84th percentile or higher for all 15 years. I mean, they were the top. They were the second highest, the third highest. All of their seasons were way up there. And then you do it with Russ, and then you get Bo Nix, who is just such a perfect fit for that style of offense, obviously throwing underneath, broke the completion percentage record in college. I think they're going to have they had 153 to lead the NFL last year. I think they might have 200 running back targets this year. I think it's going to be wild how much they're going to throw to the backs. My receiver would be Rashee Rice. I got him wide receiver 17, which I think is pretty high, but he's been climbing in some of the formats. You got Kelsey's ADP has fallen. If you pace out Rashee Rice from when he first ran a full route share from week 14 on, he didn't really play, I don't think, in week 18, but 4 regular season games, 4 playoff games, 8 games, basically half a season from that point on. He averaged 6.6 catches a game, 149 targets, 113 catches, about 1,300 yards. More or less was on par with guys like Jamar Chase, Keenan Allen, Michael Pittman, Devontae Adams last year from that point on when he was a full-time route runner. And then they've added these vertical elements, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, that are going to stretch the safeties, open up that underneath throwing. The Kelsey ADP falling is relevant here, where I think Rice is the heir apparent for those short, intermediate targets. So he's a guy that I think is going to absolutely smash this year too, as long as the suspension doesn't come down.
Right, exactly. So you've got your RB 17, your wide receiver 17. Who's your tight end 17?
Got my tight end 1 is Trey McBride. We're going to do some more pace stats, which people hate pace stats, and they're not the best way to do it. But when I think there's a significant rule change, I think it's relevant. McBride in the first 7 games last year never played more than 60% of the snaps. Zach Ertz was still kind of the lead tight end. Week 8, he started. He played, I think, 83%. He never went back under 69% from that point forward. From that point forward, week 8 on, 144 target pace, 112 catches. We've been right up there with Evan Ingram, close to the all-time record for tight ends. 1,000 and 114 receiving yards was his pace from that point on. Basically, was a monster too on film. Just looked incredible. I think he's going to be a superstar. But we saw the breakout. You look at his per route numbers, over 2.0 yards per route run for the full season. Fantastic sophomore season, covered up a little bit by the fact that he wasn't a full-time guy until week 8.
Okay, Dave, you want to give some reaction to that? We got Rashee Rice, wide receiver 17. We got running back 17, Javonte Williams, and Trey McBride, tight end 1.
So I guess the first reaction I have is do you see Rice's target volume decreasing at all because of Brown, Worthy, and obviously Kelsey? Like I feel like Kelsey is going to be a huge factor on those short throws, along with Rice. But they're both going to be there, and they should both get a lot of them. And yes, the design of having Brown and Worthy there is to open things up underneath. How do you reconcile that with the pace that you gave for how he did last year without Brown and without Worthy on the field?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. A big part of it is they've been number one in pass rate over expected. I think it's 5 seasons in a row or 4 seasons in a row. And so we know they're going to drop back, right? Like even when they're against, coverages that are run defenses, the Chiefs will drop back to throw. And defenses are going to do that cover 2 shell stuff and take away the explosives and those elements. And there's going to be the soft spots underneath. So I think there's going to be plenty of volume to go around. But also it's this idea that I think Worthy and Brown are going to kind of do different things than what Rice does in the offense. They're going to be manufactured touches around the line of scrimmage or vertical targets downfield. And there's this whole underneath area that I think is where, Rice is going to operate. We saw it in I think it was a second preseason game. They went deep to Worthy on the first snap. And then like 3 of the next 4 passes were short 5 to 10 yard completions to Rashee Rice. It's funny because Rice has this A dot that's like 5 something, and Worthy's may land similar because he'll get a lot of touches around the line of scrimmage, but the distributions are going to be different, right? Like Rice's are all going to be in that 5 to 10 range, and Worthy's are going to be 0 air yards or 10 plus or 20 plus air yards. They're going to be, it's going to be like a barbell if you were to graph it out. So anyway, I think they're kind of playing different roles within the offense. And so I think Rice is the one that really eats.
Okay. And then on McBride, and I don't have him ranked in my top 20 like you do, but I do have him as a top 24 receiver. And I think there's a big difference between full PPR, half PPR, non-PPR with Rashee Rice. And I've said this before, Adam is tired of hearing it. I feel like ever since I watched him in college, Rice just has this knack for finding the end zone. And he'll be one of the guys that can be called upon when the Chiefs get inside the 10. And they do all their wacky stuff to get guys open, and Rice can get open. So I can't rule out a lot of touchdowns and a lot of catches. It's the efficiency that worries me about Rice, but he is a number 2 wide receiver for me. Okay, McBride. Adam, you'll remember before training camp and really kind of after the draft, I changed my mind on McBride being a McBust because I went back and I did the look at how the tight ends were utilized last year for Arizona. There were 12 games where at least one Arizona receiver had at least 7 targets. And I mean, I think Marvin Harrison's going to get way more than that, but that was the threshold. An Arizona tight end also had 7 or more targets in 8 of those 12 games. And then there were games late in the year where McBride was basically working as the number 1 option in the offense. I get a little worried about the touchdowns with him. And I know that Kyler Murray just does have that tendency to lean on his number 1 guy, but I don't think Trey McBride's going away. And if you think that Trey McBride is going to be a factor in the red zone, like Ben is saying, then you can make the case for him to be the number 1 tight end. I still have him as a top 4 tight end. I'm okay with him in round 4. Ben, where are you drafting Trey McBride?
I mean, it really depends on the format, but I think, round 4 is a great spot. I think if you can get value on him even later, that's fine. There's a lot of tight ends that I do like this year. And so he's one that obviously comes off a little earlier. If he goes, in a lot of these formats, you can wait on a Kincaid, you can wait on a Kyle Pitts. George Kittle is a great value. There's on and on. I mean, Brock Bowers is a great value in my opinion. So it's a fun year for tight ends. McBride is the guy that I really like to lead the position. I do try to get a good value on him, sort of dependent on format.
Okay, so it's not like you're going to reach into round 3 and take him. We were in a draft recently. Jacob Gibbs took him in round 3 as the first tight end off the board. And
I wouldn't call it crazy. I play a lot over on FFPC where it's tight end premium, and I mean we take him in round 2 in tight end premium.
Oh, sure,
over there.
Tight end premium. I completely get that. And yes, he should be in line for a lot of catches. I think he'll be very involved in that offense just as he was last year. Okay, Javonte Williams. I'm not nitpicking you on this one at all. Saw him in person, first preseason game, Broncos against Colts. I mentioned that road trip that I took.
Get Jake involved here, all right? Like, send this one to Jake.
All right, fine.
Or just
no, I want to hear what Dave was saying about when he was there at the team too. Like, so I'll jump in at the end.
Sure.
Direct it to Jake. Direct it to Jake.
Fine. I was
Then
really
Jake, get the hell
impressed with
out of
how
here
he
already.
Adam hasn't changed. It's been a while since I've hung out, but Adam's still cracking skulls.
Sure. I'm wondering if Adam's about ready to like kick Jake off as soon as he starts talking about Javonte.
That's what you
Williams
get.
in a few seconds. No, okay. So there was a point when it sounded like Javonte Williams was going to get cut and not be a part of the Broncos or get traded, and everybody was moving him way down the rankings. He looked good. Easily the best running back in Denver. Easily the best, like, do-it-all type guy for them. Like, Jaleel McLaughlin, yeah, he's faster than Javonte. He's not nearly as strong. He can't push a pile. He's not going to be used at the goal line. Audric Estime is the exact opposite. He's physical. He can be used at the goal line, but he's a work in progress in passing downs, and he's not nearly as explosive. And now a year removed from the ACL, and he's lighter. He went on a major diet right before the season started. Sean Payton told us the story about it after the game. I like it when players lose weight, and it sounded like he gained weight that made him fall out of favor, and now he's back in favor. And you mentioned the targets and the Sean Payton track record of that. I think the number is like a 31% target share on average in Sean Payton's offenses all throughout his time in New Orleans. So this is something that kind of made people interested in Samaje Perine last year. I think even if Javonte Williams falls out of favor a little bit, and maybe we do see a little bit more McLaughlin on early downs, he can still play passing downs. Perine's not there anymore. So you're going to be able to get good value as a floor for him. I think he's got a good, safe floor from week to week. Last year, there were only 4 games where he was north of 15 PPR points. He's going to have way more this year. I like the call. Jake, where do you come out on Javonte Williams?
So not quite as high, but I am on
Thanks
board.
for hopping on today, man.
Thank you. There you go. I'm out. I'm actually more on board with the Rashee Rice call. Interestingly enough, my projections checked him in as wide receiver 12, and I was like, I can't. And that's the thing. Like, see, there's your reaction. But I have him for 130 targets. I have Kelsey for around the same amount of targets. But
I don't think that's crazy.
No, see, and I have him at 19 though, because I can't take him in front of the names that are there. So I'm not that far off from Ben, 17 to 19. It's just some of the names, if I'm on the draft board, that's projections and ranks that we know that they come in differently. Javonte, I'm optimistic. My biggest concern is everything you mentioned, everything Ben said. Like, look, we know Peyton is turning this offense into his offense. Why did you get the guy who doesn't know how to throw 20 yards downfield and all he does is check down captain? Is because you're developing the Drew Brees offense. But Drew Brees could do that at times. The difference is also it's Drew Brees versus Bo Nix. I don't have a ton of faith in Bo Nix, even though I do believe in fantasy he could be sneaky valuable because of the legs, and he will call his own number at the goal line. My concern is Bo Nix running the offense, and then something you said in there, Dave, is McLaughlin's share. If I knew Javonte was going to get the clear lead and like a 60, 65%, 100%, I think Javonte Williams top 15, potentially even pushing the RB1 door. My concern is that I think there's enough with McLaughlin, and we've seen Peyton do it in the past where he uses multiple options. He did with Kamara and Ingram and others, and I don't think the Bo Nix offense is at that level, which is why I won't push him inside my top 20.
Fair enough.
Right.
I will note that I have McLaughlin aggressively ranked in as a target, and even Estime aggressively ranked in as a target, because I just think the running back scoring is going to be so big in this offense. So
and that might be the bigger difference.
There will be a split for sure. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, we got almost ready for a little fantasy feud here with the Front Yard Fantasy guys. They're coming on. I would like to say welcome, if you're just joining us, to our Draft-A-Thon. We're presented by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. And we're hanging out with Jake Ciely and Ben Gretch right now. We had Katie Mox on earlier. We had Matt Ryan on earlier. He donated $1,000 to St. Jude, which is amazing. We are less than $800 away to get to $100,000 on this fundraiser, on this campaign, which is incredible because last year, Dave, we got to $100,000, but last year we had 2 spots in our Dynasty League that we started last year, our Bake Burger Dynasty, go for like $40K total. And we didn't have that this year. And yet we're still going to get to 6 figures. It's incredible. So thank you very much to everyone who has donated. It's overwhelming. Jamie's here. Jamie's going to hop on.
Oh, wow. Do you want to get me out of here on like a fun question then?
Yeah,
So
Jake. Oh, okay. Jake.
Jake's ready to go.
Jake.
No, there's like 8,000 people here now.
We have to say goodbye to Jake and Ben. Actually, I do apologize. It's too soon. But fun question. I don't know.
Did you hit everything? Oh, yeah.
How do you order your steak?
My steak? Oh, medium rare, slightly towards medium.
Oh, that's very specific.
It is.
You said it
You
back.
got-
You said
because
it.
no, medium rare, that a lot of times they get the full on red cool in the middle. It needs to at least be warm in the middle.
Gretch, same question for you.
I mean, I want to order it like he does because I usually say medium because sometimes medium rare is a little on the rare side, but then I'm like,
See?
man, this is medium well. I don't like that. I want it somewhere between medium and medium rare, so I'm gonna do what Jake does from now.
There you go in the comments. It's called medium rare plus. There you go.
Medium rare plus.
Yeah. It's a good idea. Specificity is great. Hey, Ben, thank you for coming on. Thanks for helping us raise money for St. Jude. Have a good one, guys.
Great to see you guys.
Thanks.
All right. Heath is back.
What's
All right,
up?
guys. Listen, we ready here? You got to defend. I think you guys won last year.
Of course we did.
Front yard guys. Okay, here we go. Let's bring him in. Joey, what's going on? Joey, right?
I've had to deal with this for a year of knowing that we just lost. Like, we got our butts handed to us last year. Let's be honest, guys.
We beat you at your own game.
I know. We actually don't play the feud, do we, Simon?
It would have been rude to come on the CBS Bot-A-Thon and beat the CBS guys as you're trying to break 100,000. But now that you've already done it once and you're going to do it again, there is no mercy this year.
Oh.
Especially Heath talking trash before we're even on the screen.
But speaking of me talking trash, has anyone ever been cast better than like Dan's job in the chat tonight? Is just like I'm the chat reader while the show is going on. Dan is just ripping everyone apart.
Oh, Dan, you like rare steak? Are you kidding? Like, cook it a little bit. Schneier's so wrong about Schneier. He'll tell you what he keep it rare. Give me a break. We'll get.
You ready
Schneier
for me to
the
piss
bar.
off the entire chat?
Yes.
I don't eat steak. I won't order it anyway.
And yet that is still better than well done.
I that's what I was about to say. I think not ordering it all is better than getting it cooked wrong. So I think yes. Yeah, right.
Applaud that. And I've said this before, but I like burgers better than steak.
Of course you do.
Steak's overrated. Steak
Yeah.
because there's a lot of pomp and circumstance with steak.
Like-
It's they're almost convincing you that you're eating something better than what you're actually eating.
To be clear, you also like sweet potato fries better than French fries. Like
I had a
you've
phase.
said that.
I had a bad phase that was like, earlier part of my life. And
Didn't you also once say that raisins are your favorite snack?
I've had so many raisins today. I don't even like that. I eat raisins all the time.
Are they covered in yogurt or are they just like regular raisins?
Regular raisins.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Are you guys ready to play some games here? Where's your boy? Where's the third
Where's
guy?
Jail?
I
Yeah.
just texted him. I think he might be a little scared, but hopefully he gets over that.
No
and
way,
steps
not
in.
JL.
You guys can play 2 against 3, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
We do it
playing
all
the
time.
feud.
Oh no, they can't beat us 2-on-3.
We're playing the feud. I don't really think you need to say your name to buzz in or anything. No, say your name to buzz in just for the opening round, and then decide if you want to pass or play. We got the top 5 answers on the board. But hey, Jamie, you what's up? You haven't said anything. There you go. A man of few words. So we've got top 5 answers on the board. Let's give me Heath, give me Joey. We're gonna put you guys head to head here. I'm not gonna do CBS ADP. That would be unfair.
Right.
I want to know top 5 wide receivers in. Hold on, don't buzz in yet. In Draft Sharks PPR ADP after the top 9. Everybody knows
Joey.
that died after Marvin Harrison. Top 5 in ADP.
Joey.
Brandon
Ayuk.
Oh, sorry. Hold on one second. I have to get my wrong buzzer. There it is.
Heath. Drake London.
That's the number 2 answer. Pass or play?
Well, I mean, normally the play is to pass, but like I've got fantasy geniuses on my team. We're gonna play.
You're gonna play. Okay, so now you got to go like in a line here. Dave, you get the first guess here. We're looking for the top 5 wide receivers after the top 9. So 10 through 14. Drake London's off the board.
Chris Olave.
Chris Olave is correct. He's 3rd on this list. Jamie.
Deebo Samuel.
Correct. He's 4th on this list. Yeah. I just had a moment of panic where I thought Brandon Ayuk was actually on this list.
Oh my, that would have been the greatest.
He's not. Heath, back to you.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams, number 1 answer. He's wide receiver 10. So that's Adams, London, Olave, Debo. We're looking for number 5 here.
I will go with Cooper Cup.
One strike. Simon and Joey, you guys got to start texting each other. You got to do this too. Jamie, sorry, you're up.
Mike Evans.
Ooh, he for the win, or do they get a chance to steal?
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins is correct.
Let's go.
Oh, dang it.
Way to go. Devontae Adams is wide receiver 10. Drake London, 11. Olave, 12. Debo, 13. Nico Collins is wide receiver 14. Give me Dave. Give me Simon. The top leaders are on the board.
There we go.
Back to 2023. I want the top 5 tight ends in receiving yards.
Dave.
It's like Simon forgot his name there for a second.
Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta is number 5. Number 5. Simon, you have a chance to get a better guess there.
Simon, Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram is number 3. So would you like to pass or play, front yard?
We will play. We're gonna follow the lead of these guys, see if we can earn our points.
We got 3 and 5 already off the board here, so we only need 3 more. Top 5 in receiving yards amongst tight ends last year. Ingram and Laporta have been answered. Joey, you are up.
Do we have JL backstage? Can we add him?
Oh, yes, we can. Hey, JL, what's going on?
Thanks for showing up, man.
And he's on mute.
He's speechless.
Or something. All right, let's see if we can get his mic fixed. Joey, you are up. We need receiving yards leaders amongst tight ends.
David Njoku.
Man, wrong.
I'm just good guess though, Joey.
Thank you.
Joey just likes that
testing. Definitely not late. Testing.
You're not late, and Joey is definitely not Matt Ryan, as we see there. But JL, you are up. I don't know where you came in, but we're looking for receiving yardage leaders.
Adam at the bottom is so weird.
It is weird. I don't like. So we got Ingram and Laporta off the board. We have Njoku's a wrong guess. And go ahead, you're up, JL.
And so I got to pick a name of receiving leaders.
Yeah, for tight ends.
Tight ends. I'm guessing McBride was guessed.
No, he was not.
McBride.
McBride is incorrect.
Good guess, though. Like if we were doing the top and tight end receiving yards after week 10, you guys would have destroyed this game.
See, we only care about championships, so weeks 1 through 9 don't even matter.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that. Save your team here.
And that's big talk from someone who won no leagues last year. I will go with the reigning tight end champion, Travis Kelce, and that is not the number 1 tight end in fantasy, just champion in our hearts.
All right, yeah, he is number 2 on this list. So we've got Kelce, Ingram, and Laporta. Joey are up 2 more who are top 5 in receiving yards amongst tight ends last year.
I'm going to say, because I don't want to get the number 1 yet. I think Jake Ferguson is 4.
You probably should have just tried to get the number 1 answer. That was really nice of you. But all right, FFT, you got a chance to steal. You can talk it out, out loud. It's okay. You can talk it out.
I was debating between Laporta and Kittle.
So
And
we
I
already
stepped
got Laporta.
Laporta's already been named.
Kittle.
Yeah, Laporta's been named.
You should say that
Right, I
again.
gave Laporta, but he was fifth.
Yeah, so Kittle, is that what you're going with?
I'm nominating Kittle. I don't know if the guys agree or not.
I think it's Kittle or Cole Kmet would be my 2 choices.
Heath?
I think we should go with Kittle.
George Kittle led the position in receiving yards last year, and he is the number 1 answer. The other one was TJ Hawkinson.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
When
All
do
right.
we get the breakfast cereal questions?
You get a fun one here.
Okay.
The next round is worth triple the points.
Yes.
The first 2 rounds did not matter. Front Yard Fantasy is back in the game. All right.
Just like the first 9 weeks.
Give me Jamie and give me JL and give me the top 5 action movies of all time according to IMDb. JL.
Die Hard.
Die Hard
Beautiful.
is the number 2 answer.
Cool.
Jamie, you got a chance to get number 1.
Ooh.
Terminator. That's what I was gonna
All right, JL, pass or play.
Let's play this one. It's a movie. Joey, come on.
All right, so we're looking for the top 5 action movies of all time according to IMDb. Number 2, Die Hard is already taken. Simon, you are up.
The Matrix.
Good guess. Good guess. You're not there. Joey, you're up.
I'm gonna say because I want to get a Schwarzenegger one in there, so I'm gonna say Predator.
He'd be on my list. It'd be on my list.
It should be.
JL, you're back up. Only Die Hard so far.
Does Godfather count as an action movie?
I'm gonna help you. No, it's
For sure. Yes.
Well, you can't help.
You should get that.
Come on, they need help here. Come on.
So not Godfather. All right, I'll go.
Could I give like a little bit of help to everyone?
No. What are you doing?
Everyone.
Yes.
You've already given a little bit of help to that team that hasn't won anything yet.
Okay. All right, sorry,
What side are
Jay.
you on anyway, Adam?
All right, let's go Seven Samurai.
What'd you say?
Let's go Seven Samurai. That's action.
I never heard of it. Not on the list. All right, so we're looking for one of the 5 best. This is really hard. One of the 5 best action movies of all time, according to IMDb. You got Die Hard so far. That was JL. If you guys don't get one, the Front Yard Fantasy Crew wins the challenge this year. So Dave is getting very few things right, I will say.
It would be a shame.
Go ahead, talk it out.
I wonder if he made this so that Mission Impossible or Top Gun, which are Tom Cruise movies.
Mission
Are
Impossible
part of
was
the
my
answer.
guess, but Adam wouldn't do that because he doesn't think Tom Cruise is an action star.
But that could be to throw us off. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is classic.
Now,
Hazel.
it doesn't count for Adam, but like superheroes, or would they be in this? 'Cause-
Adam says those superhero movies are also not action movies.
Is it not my
I know that,
list?
but-
First of all, I was gonna say something to that effect earlier, but you guys told me not to give any about what types of movies were on here. But you told me not to say anything, so I'm not going to specify about.
well, now you can specify.
No.
Is Despicable
Okay, so then
Me
what,
an action movie?
what are the contenders? What are we thinking?
Well, it's not
Do we-
Terminator, so I mean that would.
Yeah.
So
I mean, so like, do we put the Avengers in there? Do we put?
I don't know what IMDb classifies as like
Exactly.
best.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that some of it has to do with what grossed the most money.
Right. That's my thinking with
That's a good point.
one of the Endgame movies.
Well,
so
it'd be-
Avengers Endgame
I think that might.
Ooh.
or just
The
Avengers?
other movie that just came to my mind was True Lies, but I don't know if that's
No,
like
that
that's
would-
if they're like,
That's
you
good.
know, looking for like stylistic fun.
True Lies is number 25 on the list.
Okay,
Oh,
see
there you
now
go.
you're helping us. Let's keep.
Yeah, but you weren't gonna guess it. You weren't gonna guess. That wasn't gonna be your guess.
Kill Bill. No, What do you think, Heath?
I don't think it was Endgame based on Adam's face when we said that, but I don't know that for sure.
I was just being. Don't take anything from that.
My first thought was Mission Impossible, but I think any of the Avengers movies would be a good guess.
What about something like Avatar?
Ugh,
Ooh,
I'm leaving.
James Cameron. Maybe a little
I
Titanic.
don't think that.
If only there was like a movie genius on the stream right
I'm giving
now.
you guys 10 seconds.
Simon.
All right, go Avengers.
Avengers.
Endgame.
Let's see. It's not in the top 5. Let's see if it's even on. They did. I don't think they. Put
Mission
it on.
Impossible.
Mission Impossible. It's not even on the page that I'm on. They
Can
must-
Not even a movie.
Can I have 2 more guesses just because I'm curious?
Yes.
Is Aliens on there? Because it's always high on
But
IMDb's
I would think that
list,
that's more sci-fi.
17.
but
17.
it's not. It's more,
Okay.
Mad Max.
it's a whole conversation.
Mad Max.
Fury Road?
Top 5.
What were the
I had
top
John
5?
Wick too. Yeah.
If Mad Max got top 5, I'm done watching.
No. John Wick's 100. Mad Max 2 is like 115. Okay,
Dark
I'm gonna
Knight.
go from 5 to 1. A movie I've never even heard of before. Hard Boiled.
Yeah. John
This
Wick.
is the most Azer list I've ever heard in my life.
Dark Knight is number 4.
I'm so
Damn.
glad Dan
Oh,
beat
that's
the hell out of you
great.
yesterday.
Oh, I
The
was-
Dark Knight's 4. Raiders of the Lost Ark is 3. Die Hard is 1. And Jamie, you are gonna be so pissed off about what. Die Hard is 2. You're gonna be so pissed off about what number 1 is. Terminator 2.
Oh, that should have counted.
Thank you, Joey. Yes,
Yeah.
that counted.
No, absolutely not. Terminator 2 is so much better than Terminator 1.
Cut me
Oh,
off
it
before
is.
I finished. I said Terminator 2, and you didn't hear me.
Liquid Terminator was terrifying as a kid.
Right? Do you want
They
that?
have not updated that since the match that aired on Twitter yesterday, right? Like that was quite an action film.
Wait a minute. I'm
There
looking
was
at
no
one.
action. Dan killed him.
I'm looking at one that doesn't have that hard boiled or whatever you said.
Yeah, Hard Boiled.
No, I'm looking at one that's got Terminator 2, Die Hard, Aliens, Mad Max, and Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Well,
That's a much better list, Dave.
There's Hard Boiled.
Hard Boiled's apparently a pretty good movie. Joey, is that right?
Don't use Adam's rankings in your movie draft.
He's got it back there. Well, Front Yard, you guys crushed it
See you
today.
guys.
Way to go.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I'd like to
we've gotta
thank
go
I'd like to thank whoever made the rules to Family Feud and then never changed them despite them making no sense at all whatsoever. It led us to a victory today.
Yeah, there you go. It's a fun show, though.
Congrats, guys.
Way to go. Thank you, guys. Thanks for helping us raise money for St. Jude. And just real quick, tell us how we can find your content.
Joey, jump in there.
So every Thursday at 3:00, you go to the Front Yard Fantasy YouTube channel. We are there playing games. We've got Fantasy Fortune. We've got Fantasy Jeopardy. We have a great time. JL's mean to me most weeks. I make funny jokes, and Simon is, you know what? I'm going to say it. He's the best host in the business. Sorry, Adam. You were number one until this. With your crazy list today, I'm going to make my own crazy list. Simon, best host in the business.
Fair. I will take it. Thanks, guys. Take care. We'll talk to
you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you, guys.
All right. Dave, Jamie are here. Dave, you can hang around as long as you want. We've got a couple of guests that we need to bring on here. I don't know what the hell that is, but he eats Scott Fish or something.
What's going on, guys? Cereal first. Also, burgers over steaks. I'm with you, Adam.
Yeah.
Burgers over steaks.
And there's the dressy Nando. You're on mute, but there's dressed up Nando DeFito as well. Appreciate you. What's up, man?
I actually left my work clothes on. I should take those off.
We coordinated this all wrong. My bad.
But the funny thing is, I was watching Front Yard Fantasy actually this morning, just to see what kind of games they were playing, and Scott Fish was on, and he was wearing a dog costume on that one. So, like, what do you just like own one of those Halloween stores or something that pops up at the fall?
Yep, Spirit Halloween. That's me. So, thank you for all your purchases over the years.
Adam is so elitist. He's so elitist. He doesn't know Spirit Halloween's name like everyone else in the world.
Some
they don't have
Halloween
those in
store or
Westchester.
something?
One of those Halloween stores, you know?
You know. They
Wait,
pop
Dave,
up
were you
every
on
year.
the show for this, Dave? Did you?
Yes,
see
it was the Joey Wright birthday show.
No, you saw this?
Saw what?
That Nando got me. I sent you a picture.
Yes, you sent me all the gifts that Nando sent you.
Amazing.
One of which I knew about weeks ago.
Show them the rest, Adam.
I don't think I can do that.
Come on. They're American
Are they
made.
not?
Show the video game console joysticks.
Turn the lights off. They glow.
Hey,
You know they glow.
what he got me? I can't. I was told before the show you cannot put those on the air. So
It's a marathon.
Anyway, welcome to Draft-A-Thon. For those of you just joining us here, we're finishing up. What does that say? Friends tennis doubles. Oh, Adam and Scott. Wait, we're doubles team.
2025. We got to get revenge on your loss, Adam.
All right.
We got to get revenge on your loss. Me and you doubles.
What did Nando just do?
Well, what did he
did
do?
Nando just do? What? Put glasses on?
Oh, yeah. I got readers, man. Look. Hey. Hello.
Everyone knows people with glasses are
Do
cool.
this.
Yeah. Look, I have a million. You get them on Amazon for you get like a case of them for $12.
Hey, Nando. Before we get into,
I have them, Shimei. We read menus together in Westfield.
Before I get into what we're going to get into here,
Clog your toilet.
you're at Fantasy Life now. Tell us about it.
Hey, it's beautiful and wonderful. That's all you need to know. Why are you so lazy? You can't plug it for me, Adam. We also own, by the way, we own guillotineleagues.com, which I think is a fantastic way to play. That's my plug.
My draft right now. It's great.
Right? It's it's so good. It's so fun.
I love guillotine leagues. It's one of my favorite formats.
How could I was talking to someone today. I'm like, there should be Scott Fishbowl guillotine leagues, man.
There should be. There was a Scott Fishbowl Super Chop guillotine league on guillotineleagues.com the last couple of years. We might have time to squeak it in this year. Maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, we do that.
Hey guys, you want to do some rapid fire fantasy questions?
That's a good idea.
All right. Dave, Jamie, Scott, Nando. Dave, Jamie, Scott, Nando. Ready? Who has a better season, Breece Hall or Bijan Robinson?
Breece.
No, okay, sorry. Saquon Barkley, I didn't hear you. Saquon Barkley or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Barkley.
Barkley.
I'll take Barkley.
Oh man, we're all in lockstep so far.
I don't feel like Nando's actually said anything.
Well, I've answered twice.
He's just nodded to each of ours, maybe.
Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase?
Jefferson.
I'm with Jefferson.
I think Jefferson. Yeah, it's yeah.
No, I'm sorry. What was your answer?
What is with this, man? Come on.
I was looking at it the whole time.
I'm saying the exact same thing Jamie is every
Okay.
time. Yeah.
I
Drake-
did. It's so complicated.
That's great. Drake London or Chris Olave?
Olave.
Dave, what was your answer?
I didn't give one.
Drake London or Olave? What do you got? London. Okay. Travis Kelce or Sam Laporta?
Laporta.
Laporta.
That guy.
Okay. Wow, I feel like there was a lot of agreement there. Jamie, I want you to introduce our next guest, if you wouldn't mind.
I would absolutely not mind. Our next guest is one of the most generous human beings you'll find. We share a podcast league team together, and Todd has been very gracious with everything that he does to support St. Jude. So we welcome Todd Rones, fresh off a trip to the where were you? Tokyo again?
That is correct. I just got back about an hour and a half ago. So for me, it currently is tomorrow.
Welcome back. And Todd,
Thank you so much.
Made an amazing donation on our Draft-A-Thon page. You can just click the link on our Tiltify page. There's a link in the episode description here on YouTube. I don't know if we're at 100K yet. About a half hour
close.
We were $800 away. So let's get over 100,000. Oh man, look at that. We're so close.
Fantastic.
Amazing. I have a game for us to play.
So just do something for $800. See if
Like
you can
what?
make Todd cry for $800.
I mean, this is the time to shave the lines in your head right now.
Yeah,
that's right. I mean, yeah. The offer still stands. $5,000 for Fantasy Cares. If
To shave lines in my head, I'd have to do it by myself. I don't know how I do it.
Even better.
What do you mean Jamie did it?
Jamie had his wife do it. No.
No,
Or
I
is
did it at a barbershop. But this is your time.
geez,
Go get
that's
a
pretty
razor.
sexist comment too.
Listen, I'll make you this promise, Scott Fish. I am going to get a haircut probably tomorrow. It will include 3 lines in my head if there is a big donation. I will
do it yourself, and then the barber
How much
will
more
fix
do you
it.
want than $5,000?
I will do it. I will do it tomorrow. But let's do it right. Let's
Do
make
you
it.
have an electric razor in your house right now?
You know
Yes,
he does. Look at his chest.
Go do it.
It says Manscaped on it. I don't know if I'm allowed to use that one. Anyway,
Would you do 1 line for 2,500? Sadly, that's not the first
I
time I've
just don't really know how to do it.
What do you mean? You hold it up
You
and
take
go like
the
this?
razor and you put it on the side of your head.
Yeah, that's it.
You
It
go
buzzes and you go
horizontal?
like this.
You go horizontal, or you just like do.
Go
little
get the
vertical?
razor. We'll walk you through it. Go get it. Go get it.
Yeah. We're not going
Go
to
get
steer
it.
you wrong.
I have to
Go
get
get it.
hair on and the carpet here. All
Oh
right.
my God. Go get it.
Get a
Go get
t-shirt
it.
on that you don't mind.
Fine. I'll be right back.
You have a cat, and you're worried about hair on the carpet.
I'll be right back.
$20 says he doesn't go through.
Yeah,
So
remember
Todd,
last
we,
year you got
we
the
had our
paper.
podcast draft
He
the other day.
doesn't
Tell
have
everybody
to.
about
I
our team.
always feel bad when we take it that far. I mean,
He's not going to do it. Todd,
How
tell everybody
hilarious
about our
would it be if we
podcast.
were not? How hilarious would it be if we weren't here when he comes back?
Everyone leave except for Todd.
That's nice.
Would you be in
You
for
guys
that
are
draft?
awesome. I had the pleasure of doing a draft with JB. We went in with a strategy of who we wanted. And in a 14-team league, it is always challenging. And yet we were able to pull off 4 of the guys that we really had on our list.
Who were they?
They were Kyler Murray, Ahmad St. Brown, and 2 other guys who I have no idea.
Ken
Who were
Walker.
the other 2?
Ken Walker
Oh, yeah, that's
Good
it.
one.
K9.
and Chris Godwin.
So if you look at our team top to bottom, obviously Dave's team is very good, but I think we did a pretty good job. We have to get lucky at running back too. But, when you're talking about a 14-teamer, it's hard to have a perfect lineup up and down. But love Kincaid as our tight end. And, we got some potential on the bench.
So, Todd, I don't know if you got a chance. I know you were in the fishbowl, I think, one year. Scott, obviously one of the most generous people that we know and certainly the world knows. Todd, you're doing a charity venture of your own. Why don't you tell everybody what you got involved with?
first I'd like to say Scott is an inspiration. There's no question about it. I did the league with Matthew Berry because I had made a donation similar to how I met you, Jamie, where, you know, he was offering to give a phone call, and I made a donation and told him how excited I was about fantasy football. He told me I was, without a doubt, the most excitable guy in the world when it came to fantasy football. So he was gracious, and when Scott had an opportunity for Matthew to join, he called me and said, why don't you do this league with me? And it was a fantastic experience, and I promptly was never invited back. So I'm just playing.
I wrote your name down. I'm going to make sure you get invited back.
Todd, we'll put you in the guillotine.
Very kind of you. But in real life during COVID, I decided to make a couple of changes in life, and the most notable one was I was a caterer, and nobody was doing catering, so I started a charity to raise money for people who were survivors of sexual abuse and domestic violence and human trafficking, and it's called International Therapist Fund. Put together what I think is an outstanding website at intltherapistfund.org. And I know my limitations in terms of, not necessarily being able to put an organization together myself that helps people. So I work in conjunction with already ongoing charities that are helping people who have had to go through some horrible moments in life. And what I do is raise money from people and then turn around and donate it to charities that are, like I said, already helping those people. And we do therapeutic specific grants to give people an opportunity to heal quicker than the 30 years it took me, because back when I was sexually abused, when I was 12, nobody ever talked about it. So now it's an opportunity to help people as instantaneously as possible to heal from, something that is obviously awful. And that's what I donate my time to do now. And when I see Scott having such success incorporating fantasy football with, raising money, it really is an inspiration.
I appreciate that, man. I love what you're doing. That's incredible that you found something to do good with. That's wonderful. I'm sorry that you had to go through that in the past to, put you in this place, but I'm glad that you've done something awesome with it.
And if Adam's willing to shave his whole head right now on screen, I will donate another $5,000.
Whoa!
Wow, Adam, come on,
Adam.
man.
I am not quite willing to do that. We are over 100,000.
Adam.
Oh my God! Now we're over 100,000.
Adam.
It's a buzz cut, man. It grows back.
You've had a buzz cut before.
Oh, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
Adam.
it. Shut up. You know what? I'll donate $5,000 if JB shaves his head.
Fine. Done.
No,
He's gonna do
All right,
it.
yeah, I'm in on that.
I don't have that much kind of money. I don't have.
Run and get your electric razor right now, Jamie.
What the hell? You know what? Are you
Doesn't
kidding?
Scott look amazing? You just want to look like Scott.
I am not going to shave my head. I'm sorry. I have worked I've done a lot for St. Jude. We've raised over 100,000.
Yes,
What have
he
you done?
has.
You've talked
He
for 2 hours. I heard you requested this
For a month.
draft-a-thon get shrunk. So you
I've
don't have to
been
talk
doing
as
this
much.
for a month here, raising money. I've already donated today. I donated twice now to St. Jude. I donated to St. Jude during the year when it's not Draft-A-Thon. I don't need to shave my head. I'm sorry for everybody. I'm a villain. You want to make me a villain? I'm not shaving my head. I'm not doing it. You can
I
hate me.
apologize, Adam. I was just joking. I just donated $10,000 an hour ago, and I was just trying to come up with a way to donate a few dollars more.
I know you were, and I appreciate the joke. Some people get really mad at me for this stuff, but
Todd,
Let's go. Shave the line in your head.
I do have this.
Oh,
There we
hold
go.
on.
All right.
All right, so
Okay, we'll take a line,
Walk
Adam.
me through this. Walk me through this. What am I doing here?
Turn it on first.
It's on.
Let's hear it,
Now
buzz.
go like this by your eyebrow.
No. Do the other side so we can see it. The other side. The other side.
Over here, Adam.
Yep.
Wait,
One,
which side?
two,
This
Your
side?
right
Yeah.
side.
My right side. Yeah. Like
Right.
this.
Okay.
Move your headphones.
No, it's your left side.
No, this is. Oh. No, I gotta do this way so I can see the monitor. That's the
Okay.
thing. I can't see you guys. All right, so this is my left side.
This is incredible.
I just like a line.
I would start
Yes.
by where your
From your
hair
ear,
meets
from the tip of your ear to the to your temple.
I don't even think it's working.
there's a light
Oh
coming.
God, there's hair everywhere.
You're not making any kind of mark.
You're right.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
That's your
Do
first
two
one.
more. Do two more.
That looks terrible. That is
Do two more.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
It's got to start from where like your skin is.
God, my wife is gonna be so pissed.
She's getting a haircut tomorrow.
You
Do
raised
two more. Come on.
$5,000 for sick kids. Yeah,
Come on.
I know her pretty well. She's like that.
We already got the donation, you know.
Two more. Let's go.
Come
Live
on,
up
do it,
to
Adam. 2 more, you don't get
That's
anything.
not even like a real line, though, is it?
Yeah, it is.
It's a pretty real line to me. All right, I think
One more. Come on. One more.
good. I'm good.
One more.
Come on, Adam. One more.
No, I think I'm good for the day.
Oh my God. Do the third one.
You're so close to getting the donation.
I didn't do. We already got the donation. I'm not depriving anyone. Someone said that Nando looks like Joey Fatone. Can we get a picture of Joey Fatone? Because I think that's a pretty spot on. I wanted Todd and Scott to play a game, but also I just want to give that URL one more time for the International Therapist Fund, intltherapistfund.org. I'm at the website right now. Please check it out, intltherapistfund.org. Okay,
Thank you so much.
We have a game. Yeah, no, thank you. We have a game that Dave and I kind of came up with.
Who's the nicer person in the world?
No, I'm not on that. It's called Jamie, Nando, both or neither. So I'm going to give you something. You tell me if it applies to Jamie, Nando, both or neither.
Why'd you leave Dave out of this?
Because I had to help him. I had to hold his hand to come up with stuff.
Oh, good. Then this will be a good game then.
All right, so I'm gonna let Todd and Scott take their guesses.
Like
Jamie, Nando,
cookies.
both or neither. Neither was at my wedding.
Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie.
Okay, the answer is both. They were both at my wedding.
Oh, I forgot both was an option.
Or neither.
Who was left out of the wedding
I
party?
I knew Nando wasn't.
Hey,
So
Jamie, don't say anything, Jamie. I heard what you said. Jamie, both or neither was a groomsman at my wedding.
Both.
Yeah, both.
You would think that.
The correct answer is neither. Neither.
Oh.
Groomsman, yeah. Played the saxophone. Not at my wedding, just in general. Played the saxophone.
Both.
So if it's both, it's between Nando and Jamie?
Yeah,
No, if it's both, that means they both do whatever Adam is saying.
Yeah,
so, for example, they were both
question.
at the wedding.
Yeah.
Remember, you can also
Oh,
say
they played
neither.
saxophone at your wedding?
No.
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 See that
We're
Yeah,
moving
that's what I
on
was
from
thinking.
wedding topics.
We'll start over.
we're done with the wedding topics.
Done with
Okay.
wedding. One or both or neither of these guys played saxophone. You have to tell
Oh, I'm going with Nando as the saxophone player.
Nando saxophone. That's your guess. Todd, what's your
I
guess?
just want him to be. I feel like he's got a saxophone player vibe.
I appreciate that.
Todd, what's your guess? Who played saxophone?
I'm still going with both.
Both. The answer is Jamie. Jamie played the saxophone.
Played the piano at Adam's wedding.
That's right. We did play the piano at Adam's wedding.
Currently plays drums. He's like a drummer in his time off.
Nando.
I'm gonna go with Jamie.
It is neither that I know of. I don't think you guys haven't gotten one yet.
No, we suck at that. I could see Jamie like learning to play with the drums with his son or something. Like that's where my head went.
All right. Speaking of that,
Jamie will move out of his house if his kids start playing the drums.
Has 3 children.
has 3 kids.
Jamie.
That's Jamie.
It's both.
Oh, Nando's got 3.
That's right.
Coaches.
So, wait a minute, Adam. Who's going to make it 4?
Oh, no. Coaches a team for at least one of his kids.
Jamie.
Both.
Oh, it could be both.
I don't know.
I know it's Jamie.
Keep forgetting both is an option.
I don't think it's both. Nando, can you help? Is it both or is it just Jamie?
No, I don't coach anything.
All right, it's just Jamie. So who got that one? First, that was the first one.
I
Scott.
think Scott got it.
Congratulations.
I'll keep trying.
All right, we got a few more.
Wait, after all that, it's only 1-0?
Yeah, I know.
That's
Right?
It's amazing.
Jamie, Nando, both or neither. A family member was on Wheel of
Neither.
Nando.
Scott gets the win. It was Nando. Family members on Wheel of Fortune.
But
Dave gave her some advice. Dave was
Yeah, I was
signing
gonna
up.
say with Dave.
It was Nando's sister was on it.
Hopefully our fantasy football team will do better than my replies.
Yes.
Nando, how did your sister do on Wheel of Fortune?
They lost. It was the best friend. It was the best friend edition. She and her best friend did it, and they missed on Copycat, like on one of those, blank cat. They said Cody. Yeah, it was crushing.
Yeah,
The old Cody cat.
The old Cody. Yeah, we made fun of her for that at her wedding. Where I was allowed to give a speech.
Were you in the wedding party?
Yeah, I was. How about that?
Give your wedding speech right now.
No, I can't. There's no way. It's not the 8 o'clock shift. It's very inappropriate for 5
late night.
If Azer holds up what I got him for his birthday, the good stuff.
I know we can't. Drafted 2 Giants running backs in the Draft-A-Thon league.
That wasn't. Oh,
Neither,
go
since I don't know a
Jamie.
second Giant running back.
I'm gonna go with Jamie just for the. I think he loves Tyrone Tracy, so I'm gonna go with Jamie.
It was you, right, Jamie? You drafted Singletary.
That's cheating. Scott's in the league. How would Todd even have a chance?
Come on, man.
Questions.
That was a complete guess. I don't remember who drafts who in those.
So that's a
leagues
point
most
for
of the time.
Scott.
No, it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Okay, good.
This one's just for fun to make fun of someone. Drafted Anthony Richardson and Jordan Love back to back in rounds 5 in a 1 QB league.
Oh no.
A lot of things could be said, but I'm going to hold them back because I'm a gentleman.
Has to be done.
One of them was an auto. Let's be fair.
All right,
Todd said Nando. Is that double points, Adam?
Yeah, double
I think
points.
it's triple
All right,
point.
we are tied.
Todd.
And once drew a picture of an explicit image on a previous Draft-A-Thon show. Is that Jamie, Nando, neither or both?
This also feels unfair. Well, I know Nando did it. Maybe Jamie did it too. Boy, I don't know this.
Scott did it too. I think everyone but Dave. Dave
I'm going Nando because I know that's possibly. At least
I'll agree with him.
Yeah, Jamie would never do something like that. It was definitely Nando and Scott Fish. Probably my favorite Draft-A-Thon memory of all time, by the way.
Not that time you broke $100,000 in donations for kids.
Oh my God. Why you got to do that? You were really in sync on that one. All right. Let's see. Let's do the airplane thing. Yeah. We have this 8-hour airplane ride game. Okay. You got to pick your seat.
Hold on.
So I
Nando's
don't.
got to put on his.
I got to put my readers on and
There's
zoom
no
in
way
on
Nando
this.
can see this.
Jeez.
I'm just going to pick a number between 1 and 14.
Oh my gosh. Some of these would be.
I got 10 if it's available.
It's available. You're in between Jerry and Mike McCarthy.
You're a Cowboys fan, or
You're going to drink
Not
for free
even
that whole
slightly, but I
flight.
would imagine that being next to Jerry Jones would be the football equivalent to being next to Warren Buffett.
Yep, that's a pretty good call. We got row 5 is Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers. So there's that. And then they're sitting kind of near Sean Payton, and he and Nathaniel Hackett have some beef. And then you got Payton and Russell Wilson. Like that is, you got a lot. If you want drama, seat 6 there is definitely going to be your seat.
Yeah, I can see seat 5 having that too. Having a lot of fun stories come out of that.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm sorry. I'm going to take seat 7. Like I would love to sit in between.
Yeah. For me, it's probably 7 or 2, maybe. Probably 7.
Or, actually, seat 3 for me would be pretty fun. I don't like the window, though. That's the problem. Like we just took middle seats too, Scott. That was probably a mistake.
Oh yeah, big mistake.
I was going to say, man, I think 2's the answer here, like without even a question.
Get off the plane quick.
Get off the plane first. No one's in front of you, leaning the chair back.
That's a good point. Yeah, but what about the window? You like the window or the aisle?
The window. You could just
Window.
Lean against it. Sleep.
And you're the aisle, your legs get hit. See, Adam, you're like a foot shorter than me and Dave, so you don't know what it's like. And Scott, and I assume Todd, he looks pretty tall too. And Jamie's about my height.
I'm height impaired.
That cart hits your knees, man, every time.
Really? That seems unprofessional.
It's not. It's just your legs are
Especially
outside.
when they push it into you on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, but you go sit next to Daniel Jones. do you know John Jay, sir? It's cool. I interviewed him once.
Oh God!
No, my friends made me do this for charity.
All right. JB, Dave, you want to pick a seat?
I'll go 14.
I'll take 11.
Yeah, those are good. Those are fun
Would be
ones.
interesting. Oh yeah.
So you got a little Dolphin. You got the Dolphins in 14. You got 49ers in 11.
Yeah. If Kittle was in the middle seat, I'd probably be more inclined. Talk wrestling with him.
Plus, if
Nobody
I
wants to sit with
decide
the
to recline
Harbaughs?
my seat, I don't think Jared Goff would.
I do not. The Harbaughs would be probably my least favorite one. I have no interest in being in that one.
I think I might pick that before I pick seat 5.
Seat 5. No, Aaron Rodgers. If nothing else, he's interesting.
Who's with
Yeah, but
Kittle
you
in
still
11?
got to deal with Nate Hackett.
I think that's Bosa.
Yeah, it's Nick Bosa.
Yeah, 13 would be good. McVay seems like a fun guy to chat with.
Why do you assume you're going to be chatting with all these people?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think you set this up wrong because McVay and McDaniel will just be talking the whole time.
Yeah.
Adam.
Maybe 12 is the answer. They won't talk and you'll just take a nap.
All these people who know each other, Adam's going to inject himself into their conversations.
Hey, I do a podcast. You want to come on?
Oh, this? No, I'm just editing a podcast. Sorry, sir.
Hey, Taylor Swift, has any of your friends ever sent you glow in the dark bleep?
Oh God. I did have some fantasy questions for Nando and Scott. Let's see. This was
Why not Todd? You don't respect his opinion?
Yeah.
what?
He's drafted with Jamie and Matthew Berry. Come on.
So
Also, the Nando Jamie game is still in a tie. And you used
Let's go back to that.
0 of my suggestions.
I did? Okay, go ahead. You can do the tiebreaker. You can do the tiebreaker.
All right, so let's see.
I'd like to hear Dave's suggestions because I feel like if you were trying to make Adam say them, they got an edge.
There's a few of these that might have an edge.
Let's go back to doing this at 9 p.m.
Has been engaged to 2 different women.
I'm going to go Nando.
I go Nando.
It is neither we know of. No, I read the one about the explicit image. How about worked for Court TV?
That one's Nando.
I say the same.
Yeah, correct.
The tie is still on.
Yeah. All right.
Judy, I like your hair.
Which one of the next 2 should I read, Adam?
I didn't put those in the notes, Dave.
Running out of proper tiebreakers.
Once nicknamed a dry cleaner sales associate with a nickname that rhymes with chompers.
That's got to be Nando.
I totally agree.
Of course it's Nando.
You're still tied.
I don't remember who came up with that nickname.
I'm pretty sure it was you.
I never saw Adam eat so many Subway sandwiches on the day she was working.
I can't believe I have this line in my hair. All right, what's the last one?
Single days.
Oh, I gotta know, guys. The shirt's dirty again, guys.
I've changed shirts twice on this show, 3 times. I don't know if people have
You were
noticed.
wearing a luchador mask when you came on.
Yeah.
The last time I was on air with you, you were dressed like a dog with 2 noses.
I don't know if the chat has noticed all the changes, but it's been fun.
Do you just have like a basement full of Scott Fishbowl gear?
I do. It's an absolute ridiculous amount.
If you had to guess, ballpark on the number of Scott Fishbowl shirts you have.
Just shirts, 40.
Just 40?
Probably.
I'm
We're
thinking
we're
there's,
talking
like,
about
giant boxes
taking
of
them and making like a quilt out of them or something.
I don't know where I'm going with that. Stole Adam's cell phone.
Jamie.
I
almost want to say both, honestly.
Yeah, we thought it was neither, right? They always stole my wallet.
We always stole the wallet.
Yeah. All right, listen, we get in the game at a tie. I'm happy with that. I got to say, thank you to Fantasy Cares for a $5,000 donation. That's amazing. You can tell us about your charity, Scott.
I can, but I like that we're pimping Todd's on here. That's good. Letting people know about that. I mean, fantasycares.org. We run lots of contest campaigns and do a lot of free giveaways on our YouTube just about every day. It's a fun thing. But yeah, let's hear about Todd's again. Make sure people have that information before we get out of here.
Yeah, Todd, I'll let you go. Why don't you just tell us one more time about this amazing charity? And again, thank you for your huge donation to this cause and everything you've done for us.
Well, thank you, Scott, for the kind words. And I've made it my life's mission to make the world a little bit of a better place, helping people who are strangers, who have gone through traumatic events, and are just survivors, and the strength that they have really inspires me. And my goal with starting the International Therapist Fund is to get them much needed therapeutic help as quickly as possible. And every donation makes a difference. The grants that I give to these other charities are specific for therapy. You hear horrible stories, a son being molested by a father, a daughter, being forced out onto the streets. And you could save somebody physically by removing them from the situation. But at the same time, you want to make sure they heal well emotionally and mentally. And that's what it's really all about.
intltherapistfund.org. Todd Rowlands, thanks, man. Have a great day. Good luck.
Thank you so much for letting me have
Thank
some
you,
fun with
Todd.
you guys as
Thank
well.
you, Todd.
Really
It's great to
appreciate
meet you, Todd.
it. Pleasure. Thank you.
All right,
Todd's
geez.
doing great stuff.
The chat, several people in, very, very awesome that he just went ahead and started that. The people in the chat are asking me to remember to say that today at the shopfantasycares.com is buy one get one free as Dave mentions all the shirts I have. There's like 3 people in the chat, not
Help
just those
clear
two, but,
out
like,
Scott
Mac.
Fish's basement. And buy a
Yes,
shirt.
no, I will not send them for my. You don't want my shirts.
We can end with some fantasy questions. Scott, I feel like
Let's go to 7.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Come on, Adam.
No, I'm not going to 7.
What's more important than this?
Hiding this blind in my head from my family.
There's no
There's
line
the
in
third
your
one.
head.
See it again.
You
I can't even see it.
Wait, which was here?
You can
Nando
spray
has to
paint
put on
that.
his old
Yeah,
lady
absolutely
glasses
not,
to
man.
see it.
No.
Your wife is not going to notice that. It's
I'll
This is the
text her
third
and see
one
if
that
she
you
can come
owe.
up.
There's only one actually, Jamie. I think I just kind of added on to the one. I didn't do 2.
You did do 2.
No, I
you
did one
same
line, but I
twice.
extended it. Scott, I feel like you're a big Sam Laporta guy. Am I wrong?
No, you're not. You're not wrong. I will say you caught me at the end of the round on 2 different drafts there where I'm going to have to reach 8-9 picks if I want them. And I was trying a very specific roster construction I've done several times and loved this year. I loved it in the Draft-A-Thon league, hated it in the IDP league where I grabbed 2 of the top 6 or 7 tight ends. And that generally requires me to reach for one of them. And in those 2, it was Laporta. So I had Laporta Pitts, I think, in both of them. But I've generally liked the running backs and quarterbacks and wide receivers I end up with when I start that. I feel like I have a really good flex tight end. I have injury and bye week insulation by having 2 stud tight ends, and I weaken the rest of the room a little bit at tight end. So I did that in both those drafts. It was more roster construction based than I love Laporta so much more than these other 5 tight ends, but I can see where you can think that because I grabbed him. What was it? Early second in both of those, but I can't get him on the 3-4 corner if I don't reach for him there.
All right, here's some from our audience here. Who are your favorite guys who aren't being talked about? Jonathan Taylor is one of them. I know there's one guy on our show that we like never talk about for some reason. So he's not one of my favorites, but he's a lot of people's. But who are your favorite guys who aren't being talked about?
Who's the guy you're thinking of?
Rashad White. I feel like we never talk about Rashad White.
I took him as my one.
Kamara's better every time.
I do take Kamara over Rashad. I think they're the same player, except one's older, but Kamara's probably a little better.
I don't know. Kamara, every single RB metric for Kamara just tailed off last year. Explosive run rates, his yards per carry, his efficiency, even his yards after the catch. Everything. It's just volume receptions is what you're getting with
Yeah,
Kamara.
what are you getting with Rashad White? He's worse than Kamara.
There's no Taysom Hill in Tampa Bay.
That's fair. But there is Bucky Irving, who I feel like is a bigger threat than Paul Williams.
Short yardage touchdowns.
No, not sure. That I agree with. Do you guys have any nominees for like underrated, under discussed players?
I mean, even with Kamara, 25 of his 75 receptions were in 2 games.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. He only played 12 games though, or 13.
True.
And he does have that upside.
He does. We're nitpicking 2 guys that are in a similar range. You know
what? You know who I liked when I was doing the draft the other day? It was my first CBS draft of the season. Audric Estime was higher in your rankings. I thought I'd have to scroll down a lot more to find him, and I can't remember if it was like Dave's or Jamie's. But I was impressed that like he wasn't like buried. Like someone else is kind of like liking Audric Estime just a little bit.
I mean, he's an injury away from potentially being the Broncos' first and second down guy.
Right.
He could be the first down. I mean, like that's a backfield that no one loves anyone in that backfield, and like that could be like a no Sean Moreno situation.
All right, let's go to our next question here. Malik Neighbors or Trey McBride in round 4?
Why can't we discuss that a little more?
We have 5:59. That's why.
Yeah, but everyone's saying we can go past 6 in the chat here.
We can. We will go past 6. Neighbors or McBride?
Let's get it to 125.
I mean, it depends on what I've done before then. If
Right.
if I don't have a tight end yet, I'd probably smash McBride there.
I'm taking Neighbors.
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
sold.
I would take Neighbors in a vacuum, but I think Scott's got the right answer. Like, if you need tight end and there's a lot of receivers still available, you can do that.
What are the chances Garrett Wilson finishes as a top 3 receiver?
9.3%.
I'll take the over on that, but not by a lot.
Yeah.
Still a super talented receiver. Still one of these guys that's going to get 10 targets a game. If the offensive line changes in New York, keep Aaron Rodgers upright for the whole season, he could have a monster year. He is a breakout career year candidate to a T.
We've seen Rodgers with obviously different, much younger Rodgers, but Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, Donald Driver. I mean, he's gotten big years out of receivers, some that we didn't expect.
Yeah, I got to address this. I don't know why I'm so worried. She really wouldn't care. Like, I don't know what I was.
You go shave your head for $5,000.
Well, she and I would both care about. Yeah, she doesn't care. She's super cool. All right, Matt says Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, or Tyreek Hill with the 3rd pick in a 2-receiver, 2-flex league. Got some bonuses though for big play. 0.1 per carry. I think that's pretty.
That changes everything.
It's still Hall for me. Hall, then Bijan, then Hill. I mean, like when you only have to start 2 wide receivers, that you're going to have a lot of wide receivers available later to fill that out.
The carry bonus will give you the running back edge.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a tough question. Does anybody else want to read it, or
I think Nando should read it.
How does Adam stand it when he looks in the mirror and sees such a handsome devil looking back at him?
And then he realizes his mirror is just a picture of Nando.
All right, from Schneier, ask everyone in here except for Jamie and Adam, who's the better fantasy manager, Jamie or Adam? That's ridiculous. I'm never going to win that.
What about Dave? What about Dave and Jamie?
What if I was about to say your name?
You weren't going to say it.
No, but what if I was? No, Jamie's so dedicated. He's up at 2 a.m. after waivers run to go and snipe people off the waiver wire that
I feel like he is.
Weren't there. He is on top of things.
Wait, who would be the better commissioner, Adam or Jamie?
Jamie.
That's a much closer situation.
Jamie's a better commissioner. I'm not a great commissioner.
Adam kicked me out of a league once.
Paid for a league like 2 weeks ago from Jamie.
Adam kicked me out of the listeners.
Oh
league.
yeah, Jamie is bad about getting the money. Yeah, okay. I think I would be a better commissioner. I'm a very benevolent commissioner. I let a lot of things slide. Want people to have fun. Marshawn Lloyd or Jordan Mason, who's better at the end of the season?
Ooh.
Who gets hurt first in their respective backfield?
Yeah, there's a lot of dependencies on that.
I thought Mason looked awesome this preseason. He's looked good in the past as well. Mason's going to be in my sleeper story. He's not the sleeper, but he's one of them.
So surprised Dan didn't grunt during the tennis. Well, it's pretty hard to grunt when you're talking the entire time. I will say that. Like, truthfully, no breath remaining for him to grunt during tennis. Let's see.
Talking trash about the guy who beat you 6-2, 6-0.
Adam the type of guy to have his wife carry him to bed after falling asleep.
So my secretary just texted me and said that we also sent $5,000 to the International Therapist Fund. Just
wow!
Hey!
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Look at that flex that he's got a secretary though on top of that.
my board secretary, not an actual.
This is a great question.
When Scott gets off the air, he's got a sandwich upstairs for him with the
I was
crust.
gonna say, my butler tells me I have a guest. I'm gonna have to go at 6:30.
Has the turn
Oh, you got a butler
service been
too?
done?
I do, but I won him it was a lawsuit. He lost and he had to be my butler for a year. So, oh boy. it's a
Scott,
side
did you ever know anybody that had an au pair growing up?
No.
You don't understand what an au pair is. Like having a nanny is more expensive than having an au pair.
What's the difference?
Au pairs live with you.
So
And
for 2 years,
give them basically you give them a way to come to America, and then they can stay afterwards. Hopefully, it's actually a very good program.
Do you know if your au pair stayed in America?
I have no idea.
It's a very good program. He tags it.
It is. It's good. I know people who have au pairs, and they give these people great opportunities, and they get childcare at the same time.
You should have stopped.
It's
this.
a very good program.
I take
In
this
my
back.
life growing up. Now I don't know where she is.
You know what? I'm out of here. I don't care about
She
Ricky
raised me.
Football. She raised me. That's ridiculous.
But I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just glad we got a few fantasy questions in somehow.
Yeah, not really. So we're out of here.
Every benefit you said of having an au pair, and then we ask you if she got any of those benefits. I don't know, man. I don't remember her name.
0 years old. I'm supposed to know these things? I don't
You never
know.
asked your parents years later, why didn't you raise me?
Yeah.
Who raised
don't
me?
Say that. That's really messed up. I know who raised me.
Whatever happened to Anastasia? You don't ask?
I
Text
like
your
Hillary.
parents now and ask.
Oh my God. This
I'll
is
get the
crazy.
story. I'll text his brother.
All right.
Oh yeah, Dave Azer.
No, there's no story. There's no
Well,
story.
he's older. He's probably going to remember whatever her name was.
Probably.
Why is the side of Adam's head balding in one spot? It's a great question.
Don't. You can't see it.
I'm gonna have to explain that. Wait, which side was it on?
Oh, you don't even
That's
know.
embarrassing that you don't even know what
That's
side it's on.
terrible. That is terrible. Oh, it's so sloppy.
Adam, the whole point is you should have 3, so then someone will be like, "Oh, he did that for charity," and not just one where it's
Oh,
like,
that's
"Oh,
what they'll think.
someone
Yeah.
sneezed." Yeah.
That's what they'll think. This is awful. I can't believe I just did this.
I can't believe you have to go another year defending yourself for turning down $5,000 to shave your head.
I didn't turn down anything. Okay.
The night's not over, Jamie. He can still do the right thing.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for our Draft-A-Thon. It's been a
Such a
lot of
villain.
fun. We're over $100,000. We learned about another great charity. So this has been exactly what we were trying to accomplish here. It was football is second to the more important things in life. So thanks for being a part of that. For everybody you see here and all the people you saw before, I'm me, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. I didn't want to give just my name. That would have felt wrong. All right, fine. I'll do all the thank yous. What we got? Thank you to Matt Ryan, Jake Ciely, Katie Mox. I'm terrified, petrified that I'm going to forget somebody. Ben Gretch, the Front Yard Fantasy guys, Nando, Scott, Dave, Jamie, Heath, Dan Schneier for yakking it up in the old yak box over there in the chat. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you all.
Well, he forgot Todd.
Together.
Loans. I knew it. I knew it. Oh,
Did he forget Heath too?
No, I
No,
said.
he said Heath.
Okay.
All right.
We're good.
See you tomorrow. On
Can you name the Front Yard Fantasies like by name? Do you,
Yes,
you just don't
I-
know them, do you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I already named them. See you
He's
later.
scrolling up the private chat.